recording now. Okay, so now it's showing up. All right, cool. All right, well, that was a shitty transition. It was supposed to be cooler, but whatever. I guess we're here. Hello, what's up? How's it going, people?
We're live?
We are live now.
Sweet.
Live.
What's up, folks? How's it going?
Welcome to episode 18 with Josh Young.
18, yes, sir. And yeah, we got a guest in the house, as you see here, Josh Young. From, I like to just say where you're from, like Josh Young from No Living Witness or something, cool like that. Like, what? Yeah. Especially the people I haven't heard of the band, like, what band? What is that? But yeah, definitely wanted to bring that up because we can talk a little bit about music at some point here. But yeah, glad you're here, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Sweet. Yeah, like I said, every time, online you got a lot of cool things to say and stuff, so I figured you'd be a good person for a conversation. Me and Danny always talk about some weird shit and get into some thought-provoking subjects and kind of riff it up here, basically. Sometimes people drop in and chime in, so we'll see what we can get. We can get some stragglers.
Yeah, I wonder if Roland's on.
Yeah, there's a couple people that were kind of.
I'm gonna tell Roland to come.
There you go.
You working?
But yeah, how's things going, man? How's work? And fill us in. Tell us a little bit about yourself. And
okay, well, I've been in a band for the past 10 years. No Living Witness.
10 years.
10 years.
Damn.
That just hit me saying that. But
that's a good amount of time.
Yeah, we have a few albums. Just finished one. Well, shit, it's been a year now. For Holocaust.
Nice.
Is that the most recent one?
Yeah.
One's on YouTube?
And our new one's almost done. We just have vocals and some guitar parts left.
Okay, right on. And you do vocals, right?
Yes.
Right on. How long? You've been doing vocals for how long?
I've been doing vocals for like 20 years.
How old are you?
I'm old.
I'm old. You said that like before I even finished my sentence. You're like,
I'm
fuck
between
up.
30 and 50.
All right.
Somewhere in there.
Right on, dude.
I'm 38.
Oh, well.
Not quite 40.
I mean, you're doing pretty good
I
for
feel
38,
great.
so yeah.
I feel healthier than I've ever been.
Nice. Usually we try to get people to ask that question, then let them guess. But,
I should have played that game.
I
was interested. I wanted to know. Anyways, but if they join after this, they wouldn't have heard it anyway.
I don't know how old you guys are, so.
Okay. Oh, well, how old do you think we are? Let's play that game with you then.
Yeah, should have done a guess.
Our conversation earlier leads me to think 37.
That's a good guess.
That's a super good guess.
Yeah, I am exactly 37.
From our how long we've been vegan conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That's
right. Yeah, you did the math. So you were paying attention.
Yeah,
Nice.
I have no fucking idea. Could be anywhere between 17 and 27.
Wow.
17?
Yes.
17.
Yeah, you got a baby face, man. But
That's hilarious.
28.
28. Fuck yeah. That was close.
I was really close. I'm just happy that your high end was still below my age.
Yeah.
So
That's always been the story of my life till like the past
17
few years.
No, that's crazy.
So I haven't heard 17 in a while. Until like last year, I was getting 19 a lot though. Like when I was working at Walmart, like because I had longer hair and just the 30s are coming. They're coming for me,
yes.
So
30s are great though.
They're coming for you. That's funny. So by the way, we are promoting Corona again. So hey, Corona, if you're watching this.
Hey, we're still up for the sponsor,
Exactly.
We're not sponsored yet, but like we're working on it.
We believe in the product, and we'll do it with a smile.
Yeah, this shit really works. I don't know if you guys ever had it, but it works.
What we need now is, I mean, you've seen these beer commercials, dude. They got the chicks. We're just missing some girls here. You know what I mean?
Oh shit!
And
all right, well,
got ourselves a good beer commercial.
I'll get some girls one sec.
But yeah, that's cool, man. I see you a lot of,
Let's not say where I work, okay? At the grocery store.
Yeah, there we go.
At that one local retail store. Yeah.
And so,
yeah.
How's things going with, the way work is?
Oh my god.
People
well, I didn't get the
shit
vacation with the Corona vacation that everybody got. Like, I was working all the way through.
Oh, you didn't get
from day one? No. Like, I didn't get no quarantine.
Do you look at that positively or negatively?
little bit of both. I'm
Okay.
glad I still have a job.
Mm-hmm.
I had 2 jobs. One of them disappeared till recently because of the virus, but I kind of wish I did have a month or 2 to just explore myself and write new music and discover a new hobby. I know other people that just squandered all that time just dicking around.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure some great art has come out of that we haven't even seen yet. Like, people were doing cool stuff because boredom breeds creativity.
Yeah.
You're not medicating yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have to do something besides just sit on your ass and be like, okay, I'm just gonna look at the wall. Like TV is the drug that probably fucked a lot of people out of some good things.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I just started doing art again. I've only done art for like 4 months out of my life at this point. So I think you're totally true, or totally correct about that.
Boredom creates creativity.
Yeah, and just having that opportunity to like explore things because nothing else going on. You know. Fuck. I was gonna ask a question, but I forgot it. I was gonna say, so you have a little bit of anxiety, right?
Oh yeah.
I think the negative part of it though is that a lot of people like me who have pretty bad anxiety is like the antisocial nature of being locked up all the time was pretty rough for a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
But so I mean, it does have its pros and cons.
Yeah. It's been interesting, like seeing the shift. Like having worked the whole time, seeing the shift in people throughout the entire experience. Like everyone stayed home after like what was it, March, like late March.
Yeah.
And it was just all like all these like Instacart shoppers and all these like app shoppers doing stuff. And it wasn't like normal people. It was like all straight up fucking Instacart people. Boom, 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 boom in the stores.
What is Instacart?
Is it people that buy shit online or what, basically?
Yeah, it's like an app and you go and like get people's groceries. It's like Grubhub.
It's like Uber Eats or something.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They just get it up front and ready for them, so they just come to the register.
Yeah, people weren't going to the stores, like, which is understandable. You see the things that were coming out of China, like the video of the dude just falling over. It's like, oh god, this is super serious.
Yeah.
And sure as shit, the more data comes out, it's like, what the fuck? Like, oh, this isn't as bad as we thought, but still, I don't know.
I mean, it's still worse than the flu.
I feel like I gotta watch what I say. But
well, you don't really have to.
I guess I really don't have to.
You don't have to watch what you say unless you're worried about someone. Yeah.
For the most part, I'm not gonna get mad.
Oh, look, we're back up to 5. What do you know? But I mean, we kind of talk about the coronavirus a lot on here. I mean, not a lot, but we kind of brush up on it every few weeks. So I mean, like, what's your take on it? Especially because you're working out in retail, so you kind of have a different perspective than most people.
Yeah, I'm on the front lines.
Really? Pretty much.
I did have a fear at first. Like, all of us were like, oh shit, like, if this is as bad as they're saying it is, which buying into the whole, like, whatever the news tells you is a whole other aspect of that, because there's so many different narratives and, like, one main one. But, that just made me lose my train of thought, like, motherfucker. But, where was I at? Well, people, I don't even know. People, like...
That's hilarious. I was
like, when the mask thing happened, like, it was crazy seeing... There's videos all over YouTube of it, like... There's, like, 2 different sets of people, and you can almost guess their ideology based on what they're doing. Like, I got my personal freedom, or it's like, I believe what everything tells me, and...
Let me get one of these lines.
It's like, been so polarized. Like, there's people on the in-between that are just going along with the flow, you know?
That's what you guys do. You just shove that bitch in there.
Oh, nice. That's the cure for the corona right there.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, it's got vitamin C in it, so I win.
Not much talk about how to boost your immune system. Just wear a mask with holes in it that you could get air through, a little bit of air. The virus could go right on through that thing, you know?
Yeah. That's what I was trying to tell Ben, is that, like, it was supposed to be more... Scientifically, it's supposed to be more for spreading it than it is to prevent yourself from getting it. Well, I was going to ask you, you had employees at your work get the coronavirus?
I'm not going to talk about that on here.
You're not allowed to?
I don't want to fuck myself over.
Okay, I was just wondering if they had, how bad their symptoms were. I wasn't trying to lie.
I've known, not necessarily where I work, but like I've known people. Shit, my fucking mom had the shit, and it was like boom, boom,
really?
done with it. Like, I've known multiple people. that tested positive. I'm not going to say they had coronavirus. I would say they tested positive for whatever the test was that they gave them. Because there's been a few different tests. You watched the London reel with David Icke. I hope that saying that word doesn't get you kicked off of Facebook. But
we've talked about David Icke on here before. So
who's this? Jordan?
Jordan Carlson. You know Jordan.
What's up, dude? What's up, Jordan?
Max who? Holloway? Is that you talking about the UFC fight? Because we didn't watch him yet. I watched the main fight. Who was the main fight? It was
Jorge Masvidal
versus
Kamaru.
Yeah,
Usman.
That fight was fucking boring. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't watch that. I couldn't even find a video that showed the end of it. But you're right, dude. Dude, he went Khabib on his ass.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, no, dude. This guy straight went Khabib on him, and that was really frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah. But back to what we were saying. So you don't know anyone that's had it like severe symptoms of COVID?
No.
Yeah.
No. Just like. A lot of people that I interact with, we all got sick as fuck in December. Like, we had some crazy cough that wasn't the flu. And it was just, we were just passing it around, you know?
Yeah.
And
yeah, I got
it's like all the symptoms that they were saying is like this crazy lung infection. I'm like, dude,
it's only a small
all of us had this cough. Like, no, it's like a fucking cold, like a really bad cold. So we had all those symptoms before it was a mainstream thing, you know.
Do you think you already had it?
I mean, who knows? We got sick twice.
Did you ever get sick?
I don't usually get sick, but like, I don't know. Getting older, I've been getting a little more sick because I've been
this year
careless with my health a little bit.
Yeah, you already said you got sick.
Oh, okay. Because yeah, we. How long was the sickness though?
A few days.
Okay. Yeah.
You got sick for like 10 days, huh?
Yeah, it was like almost 2 weeks.
Oh shit.
That's probably
January.
Well, I say 3 days, but like I was able to work after having the shit for 3 days, like in November, December, whenever that was. It's like, okay, well, I don't have a fever. My lungs felt fucked up for a period of time, you know, like, but that could be bronchitis. Who knows? They change the story every other week.
It's pretty bad.
So you got sick. You gotten sick twice this year, or 2 or 3 times?
I think it was twice, or maybe it's in December and then in January again. But I think in January, if I have a suspicion if I had coronavirus, that was definitely it.
Yeah,
I'm not scared of it anymore. Like that was where I was at, talking about like we were all like scared we were gonna get it. We were like, everyone was like, because I work in a produce department, so fucking people all up in your business when you're working, you know?
Yeah.
Like aisles in a grocery store are only so small. Like there's no social distancing anywhere. Like, it doesn't happen when you go to the store. It doesn't happen. There's no way in hell you could stay 6 feet away from people. And when everything went down, like, there was a lot of angst and like anxiety and people mean mugging and calling everybody out. Like, dude, what the fuck? Why are you in my space? You're gonna give me coronavirus. And like, we probably just got it just you talking to me. It's like, come on, man.
For real.
Like with the current data, it's like supposedly not near as lethal.
I think it's like
0.97 or 0. I don't even remember.
I think it's less than that. I think like some of the estimates, it's around 0.5%. I think it's like some of the current estimates.
Yeah, it's about the chances of dying from getting the flu shot. Getting the shot are the same as like dying from the coronavirus.
Do you have
like,
that high of a chance of dying from the flu shot?
Yeah, people have reactions to that shit all the time.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
That's scary.
But like,
I thought it was much lower than that. I thought maybe it was like 1 in 500 or 1 in 1,000 or something that would die from the shot.
You gonna get the vaccine?
Fuck no. Fuck no.
I'm glad to hear
I'm
that.
gonna be put up against the wall before that happens probably, and I'm scared that's what's gonna be what happens. Like,
I just want to get
at the rate it's going.
They're gonna force people like that, you think?
Well, they're already talking about like the coming mandated vaccines, like, or if you don't get it, it all, that's where the rabbit hole starts. It's like, are we really gonna get like chips that show, or like something maybe in our phone or whatever that says some sort of like digital piece of paper that
badge,
says
basically
I'm vaccinated.
Yeah,
that's basically what we were talking about. We weren't talking about vaccination badges, but we were talking about what if they could just test for antibodies and be like, hey, I've already had it, so I can go back into society and, you know, not have to worry about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for like the gym or something. Like, hey, if you've already had the virus, you've recovered, you can go to the gym. You know, that way you're not spreading it to anyone and you're not worried about getting it.
If you haven't had it, you should be able to take that risk yourself, you know?
Yeah, I
Like,
guess that's true.
I don't know, but it's a slippery slope. And it's like, if you don't get vaccinated, then you can't enter the store unless you have proof of vaccination. You can't function within society if you don't have this, like...
Making it to where you basically have to. Or if you don't, you haven't, you just can't have any enjoyment or can't participate in anything.
Yeah. And it's like these companies are supposedly fast-tracking these vaccines, you know? And...
Yeah, they're supposed to have it by, like, January. Supposedly.
Yeah.
And it usually takes years.
Quick.
It usually takes years and years and years to make a vaccine.
Yeah,
or
but
something,
they're like, oh, we'll just have this, and
Just crank it out. And...
then you go down the Bill Gates rabbit hole, you know?
To be fair, though, even if there isn't a conspiracy behind the vaccine, it kind of makes sense that they would do it that fast, because I don't think they're putting as much resources into the other vaccines that they make, you know what I mean? Like this one, they're like, okay, it's a pandemic, we should probably like do as much research, you know, try as many different trials as possible. So I mean, there's both sides of the story. I just like presenting both sides of the argument. Just, you know,
that's not a bad thing to do by any means.
Yeah.
But the fact that people are freaking out with something that has such a low mortality, there's a mic on the table, just like...
Ben does it all the time. He's always smacking his pen around and shit.
It just reminded me too, I don't have my... I'm like, what am I missing this whole time? And
Do you need
I don't
like
have
a
my
paintbrush
notepad.
or something? There's some pencils over there. You could be like, tap, tap.
Yeah.
Do you need it? You can go get it.
I will go get it, yeah.
Okay.
I'll go get it right now, just since I'm talking about it. Because I have some questions on there I don't want to forget.
Nice. Yeah. Did you hear about, in New York, they tested... like a portion of the population, and like I think it was like 40% of them had the antibodies for the coronavirus.
That's a huge amount of people.
Yeah.
Oh, that was faster than I was expecting.
That was really fucking fast.
That was faster than cutting a lime.
Yeah, like Speedy Gonzalez over there, man.
I told you, man.
He was like,
It's right around the corner.
All right.
Damn. All right.
Questions. My heart just sank. I'm like, okay, here we go.
Oh yeah.
This is an interrogation now. He's got.
Nah, dude, we've already asked you a bunch of these questions already, so.
Yeah.
And I think you already. I mean, yeah, I wrote down like, give us a no living witness update. I think you already did that, didn't you?
Yeah. And new one's coming out. If
you told us about the work environment.
You guys are looking for a drummer?
Always.
Okay. Any drummers out there in the Pacific Northwest? You're looking for like a. You guys play technical metal? Is that what you would call it?
Yeah, technical blackened death metal kind of stuff.
Subgenres are fun, but yeah, if you play really technical metal drums, hit these guys up. So, but yeah,
pretty sick. We were just listening to. I haven't heard that whole album all the way through, just like 3 or 4 songs maybe. Or
I listened to the first 4 or 5 tracks. I think it's 3 and 4. I really like those ones. Those ones were really solid.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
There was a really cool melody in one of them, like a guitar melody. I can't remember which song it was. It was on 3 or 4.
Yeah, those songs were written like back when we were a full band, because it's just me and Sam now with some occasional like other people. We're gonna have 1 or 2 guest solos on the album. And
did you talk to him about the drumming? We were listening.
Yeah,
to it.
he was telling me.
Oh yeah,
he brought it up without me even asking.
Okay,
so yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
We were asking about the drumming. We were like, is
yes,
that a real
that is a
drummer?
robot.
Okay.
Well, I was like 95% sure that
I tried to make it sound real and not computerized.
Yeah, I was
happy with it. I was like, whatever. It fills the space.
I was talking about them, like, in order for you to get technical drums to sound realistic, you got to mess with all the different levels of all the different hits, and you got to like take some of the hits off the beat so that it sounds natural.
Oh, yeah, you have to like fuck it up
intentionally,
because humans aren't perfect.
Yeah, and I was telling him, like, at that point it takes so much time that it's like you might as well just play the damn drums, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because it takes so much time to actually make a realistic sounding drum track that has any level of intricacy.
No, most definitely.
It's crazy.
I used to be totally against that, but it's music. It's art. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Do you listen to?
I've seen one dude. I was at the Crypt back when we could still go to shows. There's one guy from like Minnesota or somewhere up there, just one man black metal band, just with all the backing tracks, like drums, bass, other guitars, symphonic stuff, like backing oohs and ahs, and it was that really made me question my like where the line is for me, where like having an organic just people playing music as opposed to all computer generated. Like I was more of a purist than I thought after seeing that. I'm like, this is like watching a dude just go to band practice and play with himself. But it was really good. I just wish
Okay.
there was other human beings giving off that special energy.
So it's cool, but
know?
you much rather prefer a whole band.
Oh
so,
yeah, you're missing something. Like
There is
even these bands that like don't have bass players that plays like just in the background. Like you're just missing that extra piece of energy generating that
and a live performance.
that sound in
absolutely.
a live performance.
Yeah.
For sure.
There is something to be said about people that can like play multiple instruments and kind of basically compose their own tracks when they play all the instruments on the track.
pretty
Like,
impressive,
that's
yeah.
really fucking cool.
Like
I mean,
Putrid Pile.
I don't know. Who
Have
it
you heard
is.
of Putrid Pile?
For the name.
Oh man, check out Putrid Pile, dude. This one guy, it's a one-man slam band.
Oh,
And
nice.
he does all the shit. I don't know if he records his own drums or not, or if he has a robot play the drums, but I know he does all the rhythm riffs and the bass even, and then he plays the guitar and does vocals while he does that part live.
Yeah.
Vocals and plays guitar.
Right on.
You know,
It's pretty
a lot-
cool, just like slam tech riffs.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I know with a lot of our old bands, I used to write the guitars and the bass and the drums, just not the vocals, but I
Nice.
used to do that a lot.
Yeah, the last album we put out, it was songs from when we were still playing. Like there's like 2 or 3 songs that were written almost a decade, like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And then there's ones that were written last year, just put together. It's
Oh,
like
nice.
a bizarre mix. Like I don't know if it comes across to other people, but like when we're listening to it, it's like, oh, you can totally tell what songs were like from earlier. Then like it gets like a little more technical and like it progresses throughout the freaking album. Like
Oh, really?
there's like this progression of musical technicality, I guess, like within the album, and it's.
Yeah.
I find it interesting. I didn't like it at first, but I'm like, all right.
It's kind of cool
like-
because it kind of goes, it progresses. It has like a little bit of a journey through it. So
Yeah.
I like that more than just an album that's like the same fucking feel and kind of rhythm the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That shit gets, it's just monotonous. So
Yeah. I like a lot of time signature changes and weird tempo changes obviously are really cool, but it's really cool timing signature changes that are kind of catch the ear. I guess you guys are doing that on some of your guys' songs too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's some 5/4, 3/4s.
Sam writes all that?
4/4s.
5/4.
Yeah, Sam's been writing all the music for the past couple of years.
Nice.
Past couple albums, not couple of years.
5/4 is such an odd.
I play
time
guitar,
signature
but
to fucking-
he's the guy that does
Right.
all that. I just throw suggestions here and there,
Right
and
on.
arrangements and concept
That's cool.
stuff, and the lyrics, which I wish I brought a lyric sheet. I don't remember the lyrics from it because we never performed any of those songs. We performed like 2 of them live, 1 or 2 of them.
You guys think live shows are ever gonna happen again, or
Oh yeah.
yeah?
Even if they're just underground in basements, like, you know,
You
fuck
hope
it,
so?
we're having a show. It's gonna happen.
Okay.
Like all these bands are planning. Well, I guess that doesn't mean anything. But I was gonna go see Rotting Christ and some other bands in Portland. I want to say Veil of Math is playing too, but I'm not sure.
Oh really? Nice.
But that was a major bummer. That was gonna be like my birthday present, you know.
Yeah.
Shut down.
I do. We had a lot of cancellations with us too.
Hi Sam, I see you.
With oh, what's up, dude? What's up, Sam? Yeah, we had a lot of cancellations too. We had a show with Archfire. We had a show with Origin. Those got canceled.
Yeah, I was gonna go to that one
Yeah. Who else was in that line? I think Shadow of Intent, maybe. Is that a band?
too. Yes. Yeah.
And I think they're really sick, if I remember right. I just can't remember their songs off the top of my head.
I just remember them being heavy as fuck. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
About that band.
So they were going to be there. Yeah, so everybody's feeling it, man. All the canceled shows. And everybody's already gearing up, though. For next year. You know, not really anything this year, I don't think. But
I have a feeling there's underground shows happening, like
think so?
in people's houses and shit. But if I had the means, I would definitely do that. You know, like, hey, let's come over and we're gonna have a party.
yeah.
$5 at the door. A lot of music, you know.
Yeah, Sam. To answer your question, I am also vegan. Yeah.
So we're all 3 vegan. Yeah.
This is
Are we having a vegan talk?
the vegan podcast. I don't know.
Dude, I think I remember seeing you also go vegan for a period of time. Am I right, Sam? Correct me if I'm wrong. If so, how'd that go? And is it still happening, or what was your experience with that, man? I don't know if you knew that. Did you know that?
Oh yeah.
What you tried? Going vegan or something?
Yeah, I kept trying to convince him to just stick with it, but it is what it is.
Okay. No, that's cool. That
he was doing fucking good.
It.
He was cooking better shit than I was at a certain point. I'm like, dude,
nice.
I need to get some cookbooks and stop going for the processed foods and
it's a lot.
Just rice and veggies. That's my go-to. Like, it's easy, and I know what all I'm getting. And
rice and veggies is a good go-to, man.
Oh yeah.
But there's so much more to be said about cooking your own meals at home, and I don't know. You can just season it the way you want. You can. I mean, if you got the time and the energy, also you can use like the food processor and make some like aiolis, like we did that one time.
Dude, that aioli was so fucking good.
Oh, nice. You can make some potato and carrot cheese.
Yeah, dude.
All those blended cheeses.
Potato and carrot cheese?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, potatoes, carrots, nutritional yeast.
That's
some
good.
like you spice it up. However,
doesn't seem like it would taste like cheese to me, but it sounds good.
You could get a nice creamy consistency, and if you season it.
Okay.
Well,
I always use like tofu
like
and nutritional yeast and shit.
I haven't done the tofu one.
I did that for like an Alfredo sauce. You put the spices and like you just blend tofu until it's like creamy.
Yeah.
And then you just simmer it until it just.
Is that what we did that one time?
Reduces, yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. The only thing that I fucked up with that sauce that day is I didn't put enough salt in it, but you could just put extra salt on the top, so I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
It's better than over salting it.
That is true. That is true.
You can't take the salt out once it's there,
Yeah.
Yeah, I just realized now that Sam brought up he said the V word, and I didn't have any questions for you about veganism.
I wish I would have known you were vegan, because I've been wanting to make those enchiladas. I would have made those fucking enchiladas, dude.
Oh yeah, dude, we made some killer enchiladas.
Dude, we made some.
I thought, how do you know if someone's vegan? Because they'll tell you, like, I should have just posted it on the page.
Yeah.
# vegan on the show tonight.
Fuck.
Doesn't do CrossFit though.
We're trying to get people to join, man.
Do people still do CrossFit?
There's still a stigma out there.
That is true.
Nah, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe, who knows, if we were to put that on there, we might have some vegan viewers.
Yeah,
it's possible.
It's definitely becoming more normal now. So,
what's what was your reasoning for personal reason for going vegan, or what led to that? What was the catalyst?
Initially, I was dating somebody that was starting to go vegan. I'm like, okay, that's cool, I guess. And I felt like a dick, like just eating meat and cheese in front of her, so I just ate whatever she was eating, and
nice.
You're like,
that ended, but I stuck to it, yeah. And it was more of just.
Oh, you mean the relationship ended?
The relationship ended. Fuck that shit. But I kept the good part of that.
I noticed you kind of just skimmed right over that part. You're like, that ended.
That ended, but the veganism.
Something good came out of that.
Exactly. That's how I look at it. Like,
that's awesome, dude.
I got some things happen in life at that point, and it's like pulling the tower card out of the tarot deck. It's like, okay, everything's gonna come crumbling down, and you're gonna be a fucking, like, you could either just like stay in crumbles or become a phoenix and just rise up. And I kept with the veganism with that also, like,
that's fun.
But I didn't really commit till I saw Earthlings, because it was more of just like health and like, it is the right thing to do.
I don't think I've seen that documentary or something.
It's a really hardcore ethical documentary.
I'm an ethical vegan as opposed to health and environmental.
It's very graphic.
Okay. Like with what, slaughterhouses or something?
Yeah,
that kind
shows
of
animal
stuff.
footage. It shows where food comes from. It shows where meat and dairy.
The process,
the real process, like unedited.
The bad part.
There's a newer movie called Dominion that's.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I've heard a lot about Dominion.
That one, like, it's fucked. Like, I was like literally crying watching.
Did James Aspie
so
film
fucked
that,
up.
or is he in that? I know he's in it, probably.
He might be. Joaquin Phoenix and some other bigger name people are like narrated and had a part in it.
It's funny because we'll be like,
these beers are gonna get warm.
I know, right?
It'll be.
You tell we don't really drink very much.
No, but I don't ever drink.
Sam's like a professional connoisseur, right?
That is true. Need to know a beer, you ask him.
Right?
Yeah. Dominion.
But
if you're not vegan, watch that shit. You should know where your food is coming from. You really should. I'm looking at the laptop. Camera's right there, guy.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. No eye contact.
I'm really bad at looking at the camera too.
I'm just like looking at the damn feed.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you should know what goes into your food. Like, if you're eating something, you should know what's in it, where it came from, and that's not easy to do. Even with like vegetables and shit, like it's like we're so like, how do I word it? I'm saying like a lot. I'm realizing that now.
don't overthink it.
Dude, I hate doing that too. That's funny. Is that like your own pet peeve or something?
Oh yeah. Oh, I hate that.
That's so funny.
I hear it when other people do it more than anything. But like working in a grocery store, people just expect the shit to be there. Like, food isn't infinite. There's not an infinite stock room. There's limits, and people expect it to just. You could go to the store right now, any store in town, and pick up anything that you want that's normally in a grocery store. But that's like a miracle. Like, oh, you have papayas? No, like, how do you not have papayas? Like, isn't it amazing that we even have papayas in every grocery store right now and everywhere in the United States of America? It's crazy. The infrastructure is amazing, and no one thinks about it. It's like the greatest privilege ever to just be able to walk your ass to the store and buy whatever you want. All these vegetables, all this stuff from other countries, all this stuff that's out of season.
It's also really nice. Vegans are very privileged nowadays too. I think you can buy so much vegan products now, especially at grocery stores, especially in this state. Just so you can go to most grocery stores and they have a vegan, or like not a vegan section, but they have like a health section. There's a lot of vegan, vegetarian options in them. So
there's a ton more vegan options now.
I've seen the progression
in it. Yeah,
even when I started too.
In the last 5 years, I've seen the progression.
Because I started, it's been 3 years now for me. So yeah,
nice.
But most grocery stores do have a vegan section, though. It's in the produce area. It's produce, grains, beans.
There's not
rice.
There's not too many places. Obviously, that store I like because they have a few different options.
Dude, even fucking Walmart has vegan options now. Like,
oh yeah, they have a surprising amount of like Beyond Meats in every store. Like all these junk foods that help people transition, or it's comfort food. Like, we grew up eating this stuff.
Yeah, even the vegan junk food is a lot healthier.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The vegan junk food's nice also for people that want to try out veganism, but they're not ready to commit. You don't have to shy away from most of your favorite foods. If your favorite food's fucking steak, you're kind of fucked, but you know. Yeah, it is what it is.
It's a bitch. I haven't ever tried making it. There's this dude on YouTube called Avant-Garde Vegan.
Do they make it from like seitan or something?
Yeah, it makes it from seitan. Like all the stuff's like, oh, the simple recipe to make this, and it's like just intricate, professional grade. Looks like Gordon Ramsay's shit. Like,
it's got like 12.
I'm not gonna be able to do that, man. Come on, like just mail me. Just send it in the mail.
$200 worth of shit.
Just freeze it.
Mail me a fake steak.
Send me these steaks and special little fingerling potatoes that look so perfect with it. Like, man. But it's really not that hard. It's not hard to be vegan, especially like you could do it in little shitty town in Texas. Like, I grew up in a town like away from all the big cities. It was 90,000 people, but everything's the same there. Like, it's like a little town in Texas, but the Walmart has all kinds of processed vegan foods if that's what you're into. But of course, it has produce, like in all the normal foods that other people eat that aren't vegan.
Yeah,
but what's hard about it, and you said it's not that hard to be vegan. You're right. I think what's hard about it is for people to put the effort in.
That's
because it takes responsibility. You know what I mean?
It goes for a lot of things in life. Yeah, breaking habits is not easy.
I think the first 2 to 3 weeks are the hardest part about being a vegan, and then it just becomes automatic with that. Because I think the first couple weeks, 3 weeks, you're learning how to read food labels, and you're trying to figure out, like, is this vegan? I don't know if this is fucking vegan. I mean, I made a couple mistakes when I first started.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't think I almost never make those mistakes anymore. So
yeah.
But it's not even really hard for me. I can like glance at the back of a package and be like, yep, that's vegan.
Oh yeah.
So I mean,
Most of the
usually.
time. Sometimes, like that there's milk in everything. Like, my God, I had no idea. It's like, why is there milk in this?
You don't realize that until you start checking the ingredients. She's like, holy shit, dude, this has milk.
Oh yeah.
The worst is, like, have you seen I forget what brand it is, but there's a brand of plant-based cheese that has casein or something in it, and I'm like
a soy station. There's some almond one also. They have casein in it, which is
because plant-based is such a loose term. It's not a legal term.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Sometimes
it's based in plants. It's not all plants.
That's the one that's addictive. That keeps the baby cows coming back to the teat. Like, that's why it's so addictive to humans. Like, I could never give up cheese. It's like, yeah, you're addicted. You're literally addicted to it.
Isn't that wild?
It's wild that people don't think about that they're.
Is that what you said?
Drinking from a cow's teat.
Yeah. Like, is that what you said when you, or did you do that? I know I did that. That was like the thing I said. I can't give up cheese or whatever. You know, everyone always says I can't give up this. I can't. Was it? It was steak.
It was eggs.
It was eggs.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I can see eggs too. I love, especially like egg burritos with cheese, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that was bomb back in the day. I don't know if I'd like it now. I mean, I can make a
only did
vegan
it for a couple
alternative
months after being vegan. I still ate eggs for like a couple months, but I didn't realize, I was still uneducated. Because I didn't, my personal experience is I just tried it and then liked it, which is kind of similar to what you were saying, really, because I didn't get educated on anything about it beforehand. I was just like, my drummer and bassist at the time were also vegan. I was like, I'm going to try it. What the hell?
Nice.
And then I just didn't go back after that. But, yeah, so it was a little bit of a different experience for me, though. But I don't know, man. It's, the taste is definitely it was the eggs for me. It was the reason, like I said, because the reason I justified that is because you weren't killing and taking life. But then I found out how unhealthy eggs actually are for your system.
You also find out where eggs come from.
Exactly.
Like
the amount of death and all that stuff goes into that process.
Just look up where, like, Dominion and the chicken scene or egg scene, like, or in Earthlings or any of these other documentaries that show, like, there's
it's fucked up.
Senseless amounts of animal death just from getting eggs. They're not just shitting out eggs and everything's all happy. These are happy chickens. Like the male chicks get ground up like the first day. Like,
dude, that shit's
like, it's like literally just cheep.
I remember
like that traumatized me the first time I saw it.
I remember
that's before I was vegan too. I saw
exactly.
It, like, dude,
you saw that on Facebook,
never
right?
Eat chicken nuggets again. Like, this is disgusting. Like, what the fuck?
That was on Facebook, right? You seen that?
Yeah, I saw it on Facebook. Like,
I seen that
8 years ago or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say I seen it a few years before I went vegan too, and I remember being like, nope. I was like, what the fuck?
It's terrifying, man.
And then those chickens, you see them all together, like thousands of them. They're free range because they're not in cages, but they're just all like up on each other. They're like, their flesh is rotting off because no one gives a fuck about them. They're gonna get eaten. They have cancer.
They're like
they
trampling over dead chickens
and
and shit.
Through them. Yeah, and it's like, and the ones that lay eggs, they get turned into fucking chicken nuggets at the end. It's not like they don't die. Like, they get spent from being bred to lay like 10 times more eggs.
They only let them live for like a small portion of what they would naturally live too. They only have them for like a couple of years or something where they would normally, I don't know how long, maybe they live like 10 years, but they only let them live for like 2 years and then they kill them or
they
some
live
shit
like
like
12
that.
years or something like that. Like all the lifespans of all these animals that are used for food, it's like,
we usually kill them when they're like teenagers or something,
and like
in their years.
It's like this is how much of their like natural lifespan that they live, if you want to call what they do natural while they're doing that.
Yeah, it's not a it's funny how that happens, huh? Well, not even funny literally, but it's weird how the lifespan is different when they're in animal agriculture and like even in zoos and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Like if you watch, I think it was like Blackfish I seen. Me and my daughter watched Blackfish.
Yeah.
And the life expectancy of like killer whales they were talking about is very short.
Oh yeah.
When they're in captivity. It was like a third of the time
really?
Of what they would normally be alive in the open. I know, I was like, whoa.
That's strange.
Yeah, and I think I've even heard that about elephants too, so.
It's basically the equivalent of us dying at like 25 then?
Yeah, you could say that.
That's crazy.
Well, imagine being an orca in this relatively big swimming pool, whatever. It's not that big when you have the ocean, you know?
They're used to swimming,
it's like being, if you were stuck in like a closet or like a small bedroom for your entire life when you're genetically programmed to be free, you know?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I went to an aquarium in Dallas, Texas 2 years ago, and it was so fucked up. It was in the middle. It was like in downtown. It's like this aquarium with like some zoo animals. There's other animals there.
Yeah.
Like just seeing birds in cages, birds in captivity, and you could get the vibe if you're, I don't know, after you do psychedelics, you could kind of like sense vibes of stuff. It sounds hippy dippy and shit, but you could like you have insights into you have more empathy, and you could kind of put yourself in another position.
Yeah, you can like sense the energy of the room.
Yeah,
bit,
and like, oh my god, like you could look into these animals' eyes, and you could see they're going like nutso in there, like looking at these birds just pacing back and forth. Like, I wonder if they would be doing that in the woods right now. Probably not.
Zootosis,
you know?
right?
Like
Zoocosis.
Zoocosis. Okay.
Oh, there's a word for it.
Yeah, it's called zoocosis.
That's all I saw there. I saw little primates just all like huddled together. People just pay money and go see it and like, oh, look at the cute animals, take pictures of it.
Yeah, I was talking to Ben about this. I was like,
fucked
what
up.
if like aliens came here and they put us in cages and they were just looking at you all day? Like you would fucking lose your mind, dude. You'd be like, what the fuck is this?
They might be doing it anyway right now. Like
We're just in a gigantic cage and we don't even
they're
realize it.
talking about us now. It's like, hi guys.
They're getting smarter.
There's an episode of what is that show? The Orville, where they get put in a zoo. It's ridiculous, and it kind of like you get an interesting perspective.
Oh, you're talking about
It's
a
like,
show
well, they
on
should be
Netflix?
comfortable. Yeah, it's just the Seth MacFarlane like Star Trek version.
Oh, okay.
kind of thing.
I've seen like trailers for that. I've never actually watched it though.
It's
Is it
pretty
good?
Great, especially if you're a like TNG fan and you watched Star Trek before, because it's not straight funny. It's like got some like life lessons involved in it.
Okay.
I mean,
They have a zoo episode in it. It's like, yeah, see, zoos are fucked up.
Yeah.
Just let animals do what the fuck they're gonna do.
yeah. Do you want to? You kind of touched on psychedelics there. You want to? We were talking about the pineal gland earlier and
Oh yeah,
and fluoride and shit. So,
Yes.
so Ben doesn't know about the pineal gland.
No, I do not.
So
supposedly the seat of the soul.
That sounds intense.
it's
Yeah.
it's a gland in the middle of your brain, and it's like it doesn't it has like a cornea or something.
What's it
on
called again?
The pineal gland.
The pineal gland?
Yeah,
pineal.
I don't like that word.
Pineal. Pineal.
It's called like that because it's kind of shaped like a pine cone.
Okay, the pineal gland.
I've been saying it wrong the whole time. I always read it.
Pineal.
Pineal.
Oh, it's pineal?
That sounds a lot cooler.
That sounds, yeah, pineal.
It's like my penis.
You're like, hey man, you heard about my pineal gland? Yeah, but it has like a lens and a cornea. It's like basically it's considered your third eye.
Okay, I've heard about the third eye.
Yeah, so it's located in the middle of your brain. So like see the imagery where they like the artwork where they put like the third eye.
Yeah.
It's basically where it would be in your brain.
Okay.
But supposedly, I think they're like pretty close to concluding this evidence that it produces DMT in your brain. So,
All right.
and they theorize that it produces DMT when you're born, when you die, and when you dream.
Okay.
So, but it's funny because he was watching a documentary on ayahuasca. It was the what's his name, Brian Rose.
Right, yeah. We were
It
just
was
talking
a
about this.
London Real
Yeah.
documentary, and then I was telling him he should watch Spirit Molecule. Have you seen Spirit Molecule?
It's been a while, but I have seen that.
Okay, yeah, that's the one that talks about the pineal gland and DMT and stuff. People taking DMT. Have you ever taken DMT?
I have. I haven't.
You haven't had that.
Honestly, I've been scared of it. I had some interesting mushroom experiences, and one bad one that kind of like made me taper off my
Off your psychedelics.
psychedelics. But initially, before I started getting kind of ballsy with it, I had like really bad depression.
Mm-hmm.
Just gone after a few uses. Like I have a new appreciation for life, and it was life changing. It was like a religious experience, like a spiritual experience.
Yeah.
Being able to self-reflect and I don't know, just kind of squash your ego kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I had a few trips like that, and then I had a bad one. It was like I had some like depersonalization afterwards and some major anxiety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was messed up. There was some interesting, funny stuff that happened within that trip, but it was largely not cool.
Yeah, I know. I haven't.
So I've only smoked small amounts of DMT, and I was told that you just got to go for it, or else your ego's not going to get put in its place, and you're just going to have that anxiety and fear. And
I think you have to do enough to where you basically you're not even like, you're in a different realm basically, and you're not even really aware you're tripping. I mean, you are, but you're like disconnected. I don't know. I've never taken it because I kind of had the same experience as you. I mean, you've probably done psychedelics more than me, but I had a couple bad trips on shrooms, and I've been terrified of psychedelics ever since. I'm intrigued by them. I like researching about them and understanding how they work and understanding like kind of spiritualness behind them, because I understand it, but I'm still afraid of having bad trips, so I don't take psychedelics.
You have to be ready for it, and it's like you have to be like set and setting. That's like the mantra of going with these plant medicines. It's like if you're not in the right mindset and the right space and having the right kind of day beforehand, it could go seriously wrong.
So if we had a guy here today that was going to do a ceremony with us from the village, and he was going to watch over us while we all tripped out on ayahuasca, you guys want to be down?
Not
It would
ayahuasca.
depend on the day. No, ayahuasca, I would not want to be in town for that.
Okay.
I want to be out in the middle of nowhere.
I would do DMT because DMT only lasts like 20 minutes. Ayahuasca lasts, like a
day.
A third of a day or whatever, or half a day. Or, it lasts like 8 to 12 hours or whatever. I don't want to fuck it. Especially
day
you just have
let's put it
after
that way.
effects for like maybe an hour tops, but like it's like I've done like 20-25 milligrams, and it got weird. I saw like red, like everyone says they see like binary, and like it looks like the Matrix, and for me it was like orangish red. Everything kind of had this turned like orangey red, and there was like zeros and ones like everywhere. It was like being in a sea of SpaghettiOs with like ones in it also. I don't know, it was
kind of see
weird.
the fabric of nature.
Like I felt like I was about to go to the other place, and that gave me anxiety. I'm like, oh no.
Oh no.
Am I ready for this? And like all these
that sounds like some shit I would say, because I have anxiety too.
It's like I need to meditate more beforehand and just go for it, because your ego is gonna get in the way unless you're in the perfect headspace. And a quick tangent, I have gone to another place on Salvia. That's not one to fuck with. You don't want to fuck with that, dude. Like,
I don't.
Unless you have a trip sitter and all that. Like, it's
a trip sitter.
You need someone there. Like, I was stupid.
That's an actual term.
Luckily, nothing happened bad, and I had a crazy, profound experience seeing like the other side, feeling like I went home and came back.
Really?
And like, I didn't know what humans were. I didn't know what Earth was. That was like nothing. That didn't even exist.
Yeah.
And I was saying bye in some weird way to these like motherly entities or whatever. I don't know what they were. I don't know what was going on. But and time was weird. I don't know what happened at what point. But a common thing is you become objects when you do salvia. And I became the curb outside my childhood home.
Weird.
In Texas. I was the curb for who knows how long. I could hear like little kids playing in the grass, whatever.
That is weird.
And I was the curb.
I'm like,
I know what it feels like to be a curb now.
Yeah, I just imagine myself being the curb when you said that.
It was weird. Like, who would
Ben's
ever
done
even
on
think
psychedelics.
that,
You can imagine that shit. He's like, I could be a
like
curb.
taking me there right now, man.
And then I came back and there was like something shifted. And I'm like, okay, I gotta go. So like, whatever I was, like, went through this void of whatever. And there's like this giant orange spinning wheel, kind of like the Wheel of Fortune kind of thing. Then like I'm like go into it, and then like I see my apartment where I was living in downtown Olympia. I'm like, this is familiar, but I still wasn't having any thoughts about it. And I see my body. I'm like, no, okay, that's where we're going. And like I re-entered reality. I'm like, felt like a warm bath. It was really good. It was a really good experience, which I feel extremely lucky for, because a lot of people have terrifying, fucked up, like messed up experiences on that substance. But
would you consider that
that changed my entire
your outlook,
life, like looking on this place and like what our brains do and like what we actually perceive. And I went to work like 30 minutes later, like, oh man, this is crazy.
So you kind of it was kind of like a spiritual experience for you then?
It was. Oh yeah, it's taken me a year to process it. Like I would go back to thinking about it, and like it was just this weird thing that happened. It's like looking back on a relationship and like dissecting it kind of deal. It's like you don't know what happened. Something just happened. It's fucked up, and you have these emotions. or maybe not even fucked up emotions towards it, just something happened, but like years later you're like, oh, so this is why this happened. This person felt like this, I was feeling like this. And like it takes a while to process stuff. That's what they mean. Like after you take psychedelics, you have to integrate the experience, and you can't just do it overnight. It's not possible. Maybe it is. I just know my own experience.
To come back from psychedelics?
Well, like to like process what went on in your brain and what you perceived and what changed inside of you after doing it. And
just the whole experience.
I'm just rambling about my trip, but
no, I mean it's cool. That's what I wanted you to do.
It's,
dude,
it was a good thing. But for the love of God, don't do it by yourself. Be in a good headspace and like treat it with respect. Because just YouTube bad trip on Salvia, and you see people jumping out of windows, just destroying stuff because you don't know. You are not you. You have nothing. You know nothing when you really do it.
Yeah, it's it's pretty cool that you brought that up because I was it kind of goes with kind of like a little bit of a theory that I kind of have is that like I have a theory about dreams and about reality and kind of thinking that reality is kind of like a dream. You know what I mean? Yeah. And what you're saying is like when you went to that spiritual realm, it's like this existence was kind of like nothing, and that was like the home. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like. You know what I mean? It's like, is this real or is that real? You know what I mean? It's like, or is this just like a weird dream and there's like split dreams? Because a lot of time I'll go, I don't know if you had this, but I'll have like these alternate reality kind of things in dreams where I'm like really familiar with the place and the setting. There's people that I remember and I'm like, whoa, this is fucking cool. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, and then I wake up and I'm like, I've never been there. I don't even know where the fuck that is. You know what I mean? Like this just happened to me last night. Like we were talking about how that barely ever happens, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I had those dreams last night, man. I just fucking.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That sounds like some astral projection themes, because people could leave their body and meet up with enough practice. Yeah. Fuck, the military was looking into that, like remote viewing, like it's a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking about this.
Yeah. I don't know if it's astral projection or if it's like an alternate dimension. You know what I mean? Like a slightly different reality that like maybe your soul kind of exists in multiple different realities at the same time, and so you kind of each reality kind of gets glimpses of the other reality. It's kind of my theory. I'm sure other people have the same theory, but that's just kind of what I've come up with in my own head.
Especially with the Mandela effect. You know about that?
Oh my god. Do you know about the Mandela effect?
Oh no. Okay, we have to do a test. Remember that the bears there's like this family of bears. It was like Bear and something. Remember, there's a book and there's like a TV show.
The kids' books.
Like
Bernstein Bears.
Bear and what?
Bernstein Bears.
Yeah,
Steen, right?
Yeah, it was never Steen. Apparently, it was Stain.
Bernstein.
Yeah, A-I-N.
Really?
But everyone swears to God it was E-I-N. Like.
Isn't that how they spell it too?
That's like from that, like it's like
The Mandela effect is named after Nelson Mandela, because a lot of people remember him like dying in prison, right? Mm-hmm. But then he was released from prison. People are like, wait, he died in prison, and so a lot of people have these alternate memories, and so the Mandela effect is the theory of alternate realities, and people kind of have these memories from other realities.
Okay.
One of the ones I like is I like the Matrix Mandela effect. I don't know if you heard that one. It's where Morpheus in the Matrix doesn't say this, but I remember him saying, "What if I told you everything you ever knew is a lie?"
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And I remember that line verbatim. He doesn't say it in the Matrix at all, which is even crazier because that movie is the Matrix. Yeah. So like
that's weird.
Yeah. But he doesn't say that line, and I totally remember him saying that fucking line, and it just blows my fucking mind. So. Yeah, but
I thought he said that too.
There's a bunch of examples of that.
Like Darth Vader saying, "Luke, I'm your father." That he says, "No, Luke."
He doesn't even say Luke. He just says no. Luke. He just says, "No, I am your father." He doesn't say, "Luke, I am your father."
There's like so many different. I researched. There's a few because I was really into it for a while.
Yeah.
And some of them are people just. Like
some of them are reaching.
Like cup of noodles is cup noodles. They did change it for whatever fucking reason, which I don't get it. But that one did change. But there's like so many other ones. Haas avocados is one. Like working in a grocery store in produce. I for the last few years, it's HAAS is what it's been. like everyone, I've discussed it with people in there that I talk to stuff
and now
about
it's
them thinking I'm fucking
HASS,
crazy.
right?
Yeah. Because it's like, it says large ass avocados. And they're like, it sounds like large ass avocados. But that's not, like, I looked in our little gun and it said HAAS for like one that we haven't, like, for an avocado that I looked up the other day.
Oh, really?
Like, oh, weird. That's a weird residue because it's HASS. And like, there's a dude called the Quantum Businessman on YouTube that owns a company that does food. I got a frog in my throat. But he does like, he owns like a, what is it? He owns a company where they do processing for food distribution. And then they notice like these weird changes, and like the avocado was one of them. And dude's like, why is this in our system like this? And like that dude just went from that to being like this Mandela effect dude that just, that's what is, he has a YouTube channel now.
That's all he's about.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa.
So it was spelled different.
Yeah, like these weird spellings and weird things.
And it was changed at one point because people were probably just mispronouncing it. Is that what you mean?
Supposedly it never was the other way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like Berenstain never existed.
Yeah, it was never like that.
So a lot of people are like, it's just parallel universes, or like we're shifting into parallel realities. And
Well, there's that too.
and
But
like CERN has something to do with it. That was a big thing at one point.
it could be something very complex like that, but it could also be something simple as just the fact that our brains want to twist things up.
Yeah, the reason that people are so compelled by it is because it's not a small amount of people. They're like, oh, I remember it this way. It's like, you know, thousands and thousands of people are like, no, that's wrong. It's not that way. It's this way. And people are like, why do 10,000 people remember it this way? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People are losing their
I've
minds.
questioned that too. I'm like, well,
One of the
my memory, smoked too much fucking weed.
one of them for me was like, even the world map was different than I remembered it. Like I remember, like, 'cause I was always really good at school, but it could be my memory. But I always remembered like New Zealand like relation to Australia was like here, you know, above to the right. But if you look at a world map, it's down below to the right, and I'm like, that's not right.
The thing with that is, like, with the maps and the geography stuff, like, there's different projections of maps, and like you can't fit the globe. I believe the Earth is a sphere. That's my faith.
I believe it too. Thank you.
Like when you put you can't put it perfectly on paper, so you have the person that makes the maps has to take some like have to justify distorting different parts of it to make it fit. And so any of like I don't have the expertise to know. Yeah, I mean there's
obviously,
so I don't.
Yeah, there's some Mandela effects that are more compelling than other ones. That one for me was a little bit more compelling than maybe it is for other people, but it's just because I had like a very distinct memory of it being that way. But I could have also just remembered it incorrectly. So I mean, but
there's no way to, like, for me, I don't know, but like it's like usually personal for someone. They're like, what?
Yeah,
like it was for stovetop stuffing.
Remember that?
But it wasn't.
Remember that? The Mandela effect about that movie, The Sinbad's in.
Yeah,
where he's a genie. Have you heard about that?
No.
Okay, so what's the name of the name of the movie? Is like Kazam or something, or is it Shazam? It's one of the one.
I have it mixed up now.
I have it mixed up too, but there's a movie he's in. It's either called Kazam or Shazam.
That's Shaquille O'Neal though.
Okay, yeah, people know that, but people also remember another movie with Sinbad where he played a genie that doesn't exist. And here's what I went up to my ex-girlfriend and I was like, she didn't know anything about the Mandela effect. I'm like, you know Sinbad, right? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, you know that movie where he played where he was a genie? And she's like, yeah. And she said the name of the movie that people remember that doesn't exist. Yeah. And I was like, are you thinking of Shaq? And she's like, no. And she named the other one. And I was like, what the fuck? Because she didn't even know what the Mandela effect was. And that blew my mind. And I was like, no, it doesn't exist. And she's like, what are you fucking talking about? She's like, I swear I have it on VHS. And then she went and looked for it, couldn't find it and shit. I like blew her mind, dude. Yeah, she was like, "What the fuck?"
It's weird. It's bizarre.
But I wanted to do it as a test because I knew she had a bunch of VHSs too. So I wanted to go and test her and be like, "Hey, do you remember this thing that doesn't exist?" Because I didn't remember it, but she remembered it very vividly, and I was like, "That's fucking weird, dude."
Yeah, I didn't remember. That's when you said that. I was like,
yeah, I was just saying some people do and some people don't. You know what I mean?
That means we're from different realities,
different dimensions. I don't remember, so maybe we're from the same one. You know what I mean? But my ex is from a different fucking reality.
I remember Sinbad from Cherokee Kid.
The only thing I remember about Sinbad is I just don't.
That was a good movie.
I don't prefer his comedy. I'm not saying he's a bad person. I just don't.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. You know.
He's not hysterically funny or anything.
No, but I mean, I'm sure he's cool though, so I'm sure he's a good person. But not a fan of his work that much.
He's got his moments, yeah.
But whatever.
But yeah, that's cool, man. We're
got a segue. We're like,
No, I mean, you guys plowed through a lot of things that we already discussed, basically. Because I got like a question regarding plant-based, but I don't want to go back and forth with the subject, so we're just back and forth on that. Talk about COVID-19 a little bit. You didn't really. I mean, I did have a question. Like, is that about wearing masks while you work? Is that a bitch or what? Having to wear.
I don't like
mask?
doing it. Like, I don't. Like, most of us there don't feel the need to wear the shit. Like, there's no social distancing. It's not a thing. It doesn't happen except maybe when people are in line. But you're walking by people. The holes in the masks. The virus is like relatively speaking, virus is like this big. The holes in the mask are like this. Like, it could go either way. Like, like it could go out. You breathe out. Like, there's videos of people blowing smoke, like smoking, inhaling, and like putting the mask on. You can see the smoke come out. Like the air comes out. And
test of it.
And people said there's also the argument for not wearing masks that it reduces your oxygen. And they're like, you can't have it both ways. Like, oxygen's smaller than the virus, but you need so much oxygen to breathe. Like, some oxygen gets through, but like through a mesh, it's not just a straight intake.
Wasn't there a woman that like was like super paranoid about the virus and wore the mask for like 24 hours and died?
That wouldn't surprise me.
I heard, one of my friends told me about that. I didn't verify it, but I heard that. It doesn't, it's just like that couple that took hydroxychloroquine, but they took it from like, it was a derivative that was in fish food, and it was a poisonous derivative, like, and they died from it because they just didn't do their research. And
well, wearing them, like, it keeps moisture in your face, and like bacteria accumulates. It's like, you wear it for long enough, you gotta wash those things or throw them out and get new ones. Because like,
I don't get the people that wear the same ones.
You can get fungal infections like in your lungs and like on your face. People are getting like yeast infections on their face from it and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, they're expensive, but I always buy new ones. I just buy packs of them, and I just use one time. I'll go out in public, and then when I'm done, I throw it away, and then I have a new one every time.
It's so crazy. People are so scared of people dying now. Like, I don't think anyone had any concept of how many people die a day or die in a year. And like, when you actually look at the numbers and like what people are worried about, like, oh god, COVID-19, people are gonna fucking die, and they're like coming out, like more data comes out, it's like not as bad as they're saying at all from like the beginning. And people die of like 600,000 people die of heart disease every fucking year. Like, you hear about people dying, get them to stop eating meat and eat cheese and eat healthy and like stop eating all this fucking saturated fat.
You know what I like to have you seen is it What the Health? I think it's in What the Health, or it's in, have you seen those What the Health and Conspiracy?
Yeah, I've seen those.
They had the analogy of one of those, the amount of people that die every year from heart disease or whatever artery related diseases are the same as like a Boeing 737 or whatever crashing every 15 minutes full of people. That's how many people die from heart disease every year.
You care about
That's a lot of fucking people. Like, if that many planes crashed, people would be like, no more fucking flying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
But no one's like, no more meat. You know what I mean?
Or no more cigarettes.
Yeah.
Or no more alcohol. Because it's like that's like the long kill. Like, it's not.
Yeah. Those things kill them.
Even though COVID's like, it doesn't kill that many people as they're saying. Like, it's like a small fraction. And it's crazy.
I brought that point up a long time ago, actually. I don't know if it was to you. I'm sure I brought it up to you a while ago.
It was to you. You brought it to me when it was like really early, though, and I didn't have any other data besides what I was, like the confirmed numbers. So I'm like, it has like a 4% death rate. I don't know about that. But
it was 4, and then
But now the more data we get, the more clear it is what the actual story is. You know what I mean? So. I did what I consider the mature thing to do is I changed my viewpoint after seeing more and more data. I'm like, all right, at first I was like, well, we should be careful because this could be fucking really dangerous. And then after a while I'm like, okay, we got more data, maybe not, maybe it is, who knows. And then after a while I'm like, all right, not as deadly. I still don't want to fucking get it though,
Oh yeah exactly.
Yeah, it was
Like, I don't even want to get the
cautious
flu.
at first, and then it was like, okay. And that just makes me wonder, like, how many people look into it and like do independent study. Like, no, we're not epidemiologists. We're not. But look at raw data. You can look at raw data and like draw conclusions. But I feel like a lot of people, I know a lot of people just watch CNN and MSNBC, Fox News, whatever. They just get their news from these main sources.
Yeah, it's kind
that
of
are funded in large part by big pharma and fast food and people above that control that shit. And
there's an agenda.
Like, you watch the commercials are what pay for the programming. You want to go down the rabbit hole. Like, they're programming you to think a fucking certain way.
I was just watching this fucking conspiracy video last night that was like, they call it television for a reason. It's television, you know what I mean? And like, they call it channels because they're channeling, you know what I mean? They call it programming for a reason.
Really?
They're programming you.
Was that
it's
Ralph
like
Smart?
I don't know, but it was like this video that I guess is shared on TikTok.
Oh yeah.
And like, I didn't get it from TikTok. It was like in the comments on a YouTube video.
Oh.
And nobody told me what the link was. So I just clicked on the link, you know what I mean? Because I was like, what is this? Because it was like on a COVID-19 video.
Oh.
Someone just shared a link. And I was like, I usually don't click on links. But for some reason, I was like, I'm going to click on this link. And it's like this conspiracy theory video. I'm going to say conspiracy theory. Don't murder me, CIA. Okay. Anyway.
No, they want you to say that because that discredits everything you say when you just throw that label onto anything. So
Yeah.
There you go.
The conspiracy theory video. But all the top comments in the conspiracy theory video are like, I couldn't find this video by searching it. I had to be linked to this video. Mm-hmm. And it was really crazy. But yeah, that was part of it, was talking about programming and television and stuff. And
oh yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
yeah.
All of us in this room, like, I assume, since we were babies, since the moment we popped out of mama, it's watch this screen, and then you learn by watching. Like, when you're a little baby, you're not like doing stuff, you're like absorbing everything you see and hear.
Yeah.
We're watching these cartoons that show us this is how people act.
Then you end up like Jim Carrey on The Cable Guy.
Also, once you start realizing all this crazy conspiracy stuff, though, then you start acting like Jim Carrey nowadays,
right?
Where he's like, y'all don't know what reality is, but people are like, he's fucking crazy. He's like, I don't know about that. He might actually
Jim
not be
Carrey's a sharp dude, actually.
Yeah, so he might present it in a way that seems pretty crazy, but he's got some points.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
But,
that he needs to be a guest.
we can get Jim Carrey
on here.
Just send him a message. Hey.
Right.
We were talking about that. We're like, if anyone, he's like one of the celebrities that like would be more likely to join a podcast about like this kind of deep thinking, kind of not surface level kind of podcast where we like going into these kind of deeper conversations. So I think that'd be pretty cool. Not that we would get a celebrity, but if we were to, he's like a top candidate, you know?
Oh yeah. If you have one person, why not, you know? That would be a guy that would tell you some interesting shit.
I'm gonna take a step back and then we can be done with the plant-based vegan.
Oh, okay. You're going back to the plant-based?
All right.
Okay.
It did come up again.
You did bring it back, and then I couldn't get in there before we switched gears into COVID-19 again. But I guess a question I would have for you, because I've heard you talk about it a couple times when we were talking about it today, as far as, you know, people can eat less meat and you know, be a bigger, more positive impact, you know, rather than what's going on right now.
Oh yeah.
What do you think is like some reasons, or the main reason, people don't want to consider trying plant-based, like, you know?
Because it's different, and it would be breaking a habit. It would be breaking an entire worldview, honestly, because you grow up, eggs, bacon, meat, everything's fine. You're fed this image through marketing, largely, but like when you actually know that what you're eating is an animal, and like a lot of people still don't even think about it because it's nicely packaged. It's like this dirty little thing in a package, but we're born into it, and it's really hard to break a worldview that you were born into, break a habit that you've been doing since birth, especially if you don't understand what goes into it, what all the messed up things are that happen to these animals that are as intelligent as dogs, that everybody just loves dogs and cats. But it's also the health aspects of it are just now being like really noticed. Well, the data's been around for a couple decades, but it's largely suppressed because there's no money. There's no money in healthy people.
Yeah.
And all these companies sell shitty ass stuff that gets people sick. They're not going to just change that overnight. Everyone's addicted to eating meat and dairy. It's what we were born into. We're programmed.
What was
we
the
were
question?
programmed since birth that way.
What was the main reason? The same question we answered.
Oh, the hard reason for people.
Yeah, what's the main reason? I was asking what is.
I could
what his
go
main
into
reason
more
was.
mundane reasons also.
Also to
From what you were saying.
I agree with what you're saying. I also have another kind of point as well. Is I think it's a lot of ignorance, because I think a lot of people don't realize that a lot of things that they eat are already inherently vegan.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then when they're like, what do you eat? I'm like, well, you're eating already a lot of vegan things. You just take out the things that aren't vegan, and you're left with the vegan things, and it's not that fucking big of a deal.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't realize it. They're like, wait, what? You know what I mean? It's like
When people are disgusted. They're like, you want some vegan whatever? And they're like, ugh. It's like, dude, you don't eat fucking carrots or potatoes or French fries or.
it's like if you eat French fries, unless
Sorry,
you get
those are vegan unless they're McDonald's. But
yeah, unless they're
vegan.
McDonald's, yeah, they're definitely.
Yeah.
That's the same exact thing I was about to say. Unless they're from McDonald's, they're most likely vegan. They might have been fried in the same oil, though.
The irony that vegan is extreme to some people is kind of what's funny. It's
The weird thing is, once you get used to being vegan, once you like open up your mind, animal agriculture is extreme.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's so ironic that is viewed as extreme when the bloody quote unquote truth is the animal agriculture process and slaughterhouse process.
Oh yeah,
That's fucking extreme.
The amount of it that happens, it's like
we kill like 100
What is this
billion
been a while?
animals a year or some shit.
yeah, it's like 40. Shit, I can't remember what the number is these days. It's like somewhere around 70 billion land animals. You add fish into that, it's like trillions, and like that doesn't even go into the environmental aspects of it that most people don't know about. They're like, oh, vegans. So they read something that says, oh, they're cutting down trees in the Amazon for soy, but the part that's left out of these articles and blogs is that like 60-70% of that soy is going to animals that have even more room allotted for them. And it's like
Compounded.
there's no worth in that. It's like the opposite of being sustainable. It's like whatever the opposite of sustainable is, like just straight destruction for no reason when you can just live off of grains and plant-based foods.
How much do you get like a tick, you know, when people are like sustainable beef and shit like that?
It's
Does this
not.
fucking
It's
annoy
not.
the
If
shit out
there
of
was
you?
like
Does that
a
annoy the shit
fraction
out of you?
of the population of humans, then maybe it would be. But the amount of land that's used for these grass-fed happy cows that get their throats slit when they're fucking basically children in their lifespan.
Yeah.
It's it's laughable and fucked up at the same time. It's
Oh, absolutely.
like I was saying with the marketing, like happy cows, there's happy cows and all this stuff. You want to watch Dominion, you'll see zero happy cows.
Yeah, they're far from happy. Exactly.
like maybe they'll be outside for a little bit, if they're lucky. But like
Seeing that, like
all the shit in the food in the stores, all the food in the stores, that's 99.99% of that comes from factory farms.
yeah.
And either way, you're killing an animal that has intelligence. There's somebody in there. You see a dog, like you see someone in there.
yeah, you look your dog in the eye. I don't know, most people haven't seen these images, but like you see the images of the cows in fear, like their eyes. You can see the fucking fear in their eyes. Like they're not stupid. They know they're about to be murdered.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
And they watch their friends and family get massacred. They could hear it. It's fucked up. That's why I named the album Holocaust, because it was referencing basically, the main reference was like the animal holocaust. Like people get triggered by that, but the word just means like a mass killing, like to the extreme.
Yeah.
And that's what happens every single day, every single year. And it's messed up. It's a holocaust. And then also there's content about the government killing people and poisoning people slowly with like
I mean, that's not nice.
All kinds of stuff.
The fact that you're talking about it is
Fluoride.
I have a song about chemtrails too.
Right on.
Do you believe in chemtrails?
Yeah, see, look there all the time. They're not contrails because contrails dissipate.
Right.
But the
Chemtrails
stratospheric
stay.
aerosol injections, you could watch it. I have so many pictures of it. I used to post them on my Instagram.
They also have like declassified documents about putting chemicals in those to try to influence weather and other types of shit.
Weather modification is a thing. There's like weather modification treaties. And weather warfare is a thing that's been studied, and it's like, it is a thing. And when you get the head of the CIA like straight up saying out loud in public in a microphone that they're looking into doing stratospheric aerosol injections to prevent global warming, if they're telling you that now, they've been doing it for years, if not decades, and they have been doing it for decades. Like 10 years ago, you look up, you don't see like these giant lines in the sky, and you just sit there and watch them, because I've sat and just I look at the sky every day ever since one of my buddies, Luke, he he pointed it out to me. He's like, just watch that, like, dude, it's fucked up. And they'll just spread, and like by mid-afternoon there's like this haze, and everyone's like, it's just hazy, but that haze is not clouds, it's not normal clouds. I feel like I'm sounding like, where's my tinfoil hat?
No, I've enjoyed
I got
this.
into it. But no, if you like actually look into it, it's something that the military, these intelligence agencies, and
you know what
actually do.
Yeah, you know what kind of resonated with me is you said, like, if they're talking about it now, they've been doing it. You know what I mean? And on the other side of that spectrum, there's also the like, for instance, when they talk about aliens, and they're like, you know, we were doing this research and we got this footage of them. It's like, that's just what they're showing to you. You don't think that they have more footage, they don't have more whatever technology, or also like the MK Ultra, you know, when they're like, when they're like, yeah, we're trying mind control and blah 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 blah, but now we've stopped it. It's like, no, you have not. It's like,
you just did something else. Like,
you figured out this technology where you can control people's minds, and then you're like, we're not going to do it anymore. Like, no, you just told us you're not doing it anymore.
That's the same thing with the Operation Mockingbird shit, where they like implanted agents into all the major news agencies and shit.
Well, that's Mockingbird. I was thinking Paperclip is when they got all the scientists from Nazi Germany and brought them over to America, and a lot of the big scientists in America that produced a lot of shit back in like the 40s and 50s and stuff were Nazis, actually.
Yeah. Working for NASA, have a base on the moon, supposedly. I haven't gone very far into that rabbit.
We're getting real tinfoil hatty up in this bitch right now.
Like, I don't have an opinion on how far that one goes, but I have read some stuff.
Yeah, for conspiracy, this needed to be a 4-hour podcast episode.
I like it, though. The thing about the conspiracy theories that I really like is I don't know if they're true. Like, I want them to be true because they're just so fucking entertaining. I also don't want them to be true because a lot of them are just fucked up.
Right now, I don't want it to be true with what's going on, you know?
Yeah. But, I don't know. I'm also kind of one of those weird persons that I kind of like to watch the world burn. It's kind of fucked up, but I like the drama a little bit sometimes. Like, you guys are idiots. Watch what happens next. You know what I mean? I don't know why I'm like that. It's like you heard Vicarious by Tool?
No.
Okay, he talks about it's like living vicariously. Like, everyone likes to watch the drama happen, doesn't like it happening to them, and he's like, don't call me a monster. You know, you feel the same way too, or whatever. So I mean, that's kind of how I feel. But it's like, as terrible as it is, I'm still kind of intrigued by it. Like, I can't look away. I'm like, you know?
Like, it's like, I thought it was interesting. It's all like, when it gets to the point till it affects me, you know, that's like, there's like a fucking amount of privilege there. It's like, I have my separate life from all this shit, but like now with this anyways, like with COVID, like, there's a theory that's just a long-term thing that's been planned since like 2010 or so. Like all the top dudes, like, with all the money, pull all the strings, the shadow government or whatever the fuck, like the Bilderbergs, whatever, they do meet up in their little secret meetings. That's a real thing. They actually do that. And a lot of the major players that are in this pandemic narrative are involved in that. And they've been talking about depopulation for a long time, and like, this virus just got loose, and then they want to ID people, like ID 2020, like they want to have people microchipped, and I don't want that to be real, because
you know what?
That means I can't go to the store and buy my fucking Beyond Meat
You know what kind of scares me?
But I also don't want to have, like, what are the ramifications of that? Like, it's like, I feel like they're going to a cashless society that, like, that's the thing that's been talked about for a while too.
Yeah.
All digital. Now there's a coin shortage apparently.
I know isn't that bullshit? That's gotta be bullshit, right?
The Federal Reserve is having a coin shortage. I'm like, what the fuck? The Federal Reserve, like
the Federal Reserve can just make money
make
though.
the money, yeah.
Credit's not even a real thing. Like they own everything because it's just a giant Ponzi scheme. I'm probably gonna fucking get shot in the head for just talking about this shit. But yeah, it's like all these little things that have been like conspiracy theory tinfoil hat, like Alex Jones talking about all this shit. Like, fuck. It's like the reason like it's slowly being inched in, everyone wearing their masks, everybody's being complicit. It's like a shock test. Like, there's a book called Behold a Pale Horse, and by a former intelligence dude, and talks about how like the bankers that pull all the strings and allocate all the resources for whatever, like, to make more money and to like destabilize things for their profit. They do like these shock tests to make sure to like see how the public's gonna react.
Right.
And they're like, we had our first wave. Now like you got Bill and Melinda Gates like, oh, wait till the second wave, ha ha ha. Like, you've probably seen that video of them just laughing about it, like chuckling, like, wait till the second one. Like, that scares the shit out of me. If like these conspiracies are real, I just hope to God it's not. I'd rather this just be like a real pandemic and just, oh, it's not as bad as we thought. Let's just drop the mask. Literally drop the fucking masks. Yeah. Like, goes more than just the cloth mask.
Yes.
I know you're saying.
My God.
I'm kind of with you. I get what you're saying because I really like the conspiracy theories, but I want them to be wrong as well. Just like, you know, inherently, I want them to be wrong. Like, yeah, there's a part of me that like I do like watching the world burn, but I don't want to burn with the world. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I do want it to be wrong.
It will affect you eventually.
Yeah, I'll say it will eventually affect me. So I'm like, as entertaining as this is, I don't want it to actually be true because.
Oh yeah, it's gotten real. Like, a lot of things have gotten real for a lot of people that were like separate from like political movements and like violence and all kinds of stuff. Like, I don't want to get into this at all. I'm just going to mention something. I'm not going to get into it.
Right,
there's no discourse to be had on this without like walking on glass. But like when all these like riots and shit were happening, like right when it was really, really the ball started getting fucking rolling, like it was happening everywhere at the same time. Like, I'm like, damn, that's real. Like, that's real. That's happening in Seattle. That's happening in Olympia. And like, I work in a grocery store, and like, it was like, they're like, okay, well, we're closing early. We're gonna like pull all of the fucking boards in, and we're gonna block off all these other entrances just in case. I'm like, it was this weird primal feeling got initiated in me. Like, we might have to like fight for our lives just for working in this store right now, like, because we don't know what kind of like people are going to come in here, because like there was no discrimination, and I work in a corporate store, you know. Like, I'm just some dude trying to live. We're all just motherfuckers working slave wages just trying to get by, you know.
Slave
like
wages.
we can't just go out and do stuff. Like, people have like responsibilities and shit that like there's a balancing act a lot of people have to play between activism and surviving.
Yeah.
And it was a real bizarre feeling like, okay, I have to get a gun. I gotta have some sort of defense, you know? And then I went home like, oh shit, I live on the west side. Hope nothing goes down tonight, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
is there,
like things are like the shock test shit is real. Like, even if that wasn't a planned thing, that's a whole other goddamn. I'm not even opening that can. Not even opening that can.
Dude, we talked a lot about the riots on this podcast already.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We actually kind of did this. We kind of made ourselves look bad on purpose because we thought it was fucking hilarious. So there was like, you know, when you like take a part of a sentence or like a part of a conversation out of context and it just sounds awful. Yeah. We had this Instagram post where we were talking about the protest and we were talking about like the cons of it, and then we went and talked about the pros of it, but we just cut it off at the cons. So we're like, yeah, what did you say?
What did I say?
You said something like along the lines.
So yeah, it starts out by me saying there's a lot of unintelligent people out there, and a lot of them are in these protests.
And then I went on and I was like, well, not only are they unintelligent, but they're also emotionally unintelligent. And we went and we had this conversation, but we were just talking about a specific subset of people from the protest. But
the subset. I know what subset you're probably talking.
You started talking about herd mentality, and I was like, it's like gang members.
They're like gang members. That's so funny. But the funny thing is like we were just talking about a small group of people, and then we went and talked about but we like comedy, so we like cut it there, and we're like, dude, that's fucking hilarious, because we just sound like assholes, and we put that on there, and we had a hater responding to us. It was so funny.
Yeah.
But
those of the herd don't find humor in that.
Exactly.
That's what's like. I'm all for discourse of every kind, like, but when it comes to shutting someone down because you just assume you don't like their point of view just because of some assumption you have because of a straw man, basically, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's so many fake arguments that are just portrayed in different aspects of like the media. I haven't talked this long in a long fucking time. I usually just shut the fuck up, just putting like fruit and vegetables on tables or just playing guitar.
Yeah,
man.
Right on, man. How? Speaking of which, how long have you been playing guitar?
That's all. You know, the older you get, like the more math is. The math starts getting more fucked up. It gets harder to do.
It's like your memory. We were just talking about that too.
20.
How old were you when you started?
22 years.
Okay.
About 22 years.
16 or what?
That's a long time.
Yeah, that's when I really started playing. I had a guitar when I was 12, but I didn't. Okay. My fingers were too stupid.
You started playing at 25?
Yeah.
Okay, and I started at 14, so yeah.
Nice.
And in No Living Witness, I didn't really play guitar much for myself since I was doing vocals. I was just focusing on that and working and just fucking around in my 20s, not really playing much guitar, you know?
Yeah.
And then, like, after, like, losing members and us, like, kind of just going our own ways for a little bit, just doing life stuff, I picked up my guitar again and really started playing. And
nice.
It feels good.
You ever
good to do.
Guitar work in a band setting? Like, were you in a band with
I was in an emo band in Texas.
There you go.
Kind of emo band, like
20.
Who'd you compare yourselves to?
2002, 2003 or so.
Hawthorne Heights emo?
Yeah.
You're like, you nailed it.
If I want to nail it on the head, it'd be more like, I guess, Dashboard Confessional meets, well, I guess Further Seems Forever. Okay. I don't know if you've heard of that.
It's really like the kind of like poppy emo.
It was poppy, like it was poppy emo. Yeah.
I mean, I like poppy music, honestly. But I'm one of the random people that I'm so sick of people like being elitists in the metal community and being like, I don't like that because it's popular, and I'm like, this is catchy, man. I kind of like it. I mean, I kind of hate it at the same time, but it's kind of an earworm, and I kind of like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, Nickelback ain't so bad, right?
Dude, people stop hating Nickelback now, and now they switch from Nickelback to Imagine Dragons. People are like, fuck Imagine Dragons. And I ain't gonna lie, I kind of like Imagine Dragons a little bit.
Me and Alan got the Imagine Dragons stuck in our head today. Yeah, we're like,
I mean, Imagine Dragons is like a guilty pleasure, and it's also one of those bands where I listen to them, and the more I listen to them, I'm like, I gotta fucking turn this off. But like, when I haven't listened to them in a while, I'm like, hell yeah. I don't know, man. I guess that's just me.
I've never gotten into them.
It's not. It's some of the songs are all right. But yeah.
Yeah, they stick in your head. That's for sure. Once you hear
well, they definitely have a formula there.
They're catchy.
Well, if the formula works, you know.
It's like Khabib in his fighting, man. It's boring as shit to watch, but he's winning.
I don't know. I think some of the songs have depth. I think, but a lot of people started hating them around the time you've heard Thunder, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's one of my daughter's favorite songs. Yeah.
Really? I feel bad for you that that's one of her favorites, because that song is literally just saying Thunder over and over and over again. So yeah,
I don't know if I've heard this.
You don't want to. I mean, I guess it's all right like the first couple of times you hear it, but it's been played like a bajillion fucking times on the radio, and it's just like him just saying "Feel the Thunder" over and over and over again through the chorus. And it's been played a million times on the radio, so it's just...
Yeah, you want to talk about redundant and mundane. I think you were just talking about this earlier, about repetitive music.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of those songs. A lot of
the context matters, though, because you get into atmospheric black metal, like post black metal, all these subgenres, but like for like doom metal, it has its place, you know.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about earlier about a band that was just playing. There was no effort in the riffs. It was just. You don't want death metal to be repetitive, you know?
I was thinking about that one like doom metal band that we used to play with, and every time we had to play with them, I'm not gonna name them, but you know who I'm talking about.
I'll name them.
They'll play those really slow riffs. You know what I mean? The songs were like
Heathen Washington.
Yeah, dude. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I fucking hated
I've
it.
seen ads for that band. I don't know much about them though.
They're
I check the Craigslist fucking musician things every once in a while. I just bought a bass. And
they play like 6-minute songs where it's like.
Yes, yeah, that's it.
And they're playing at like fucking 50 beats per minute,
Jesus.
and the guy's like, the drummer's like.
True story, man.
And this fucking set goes on for like 30 fucking minutes, dude. And you're just sitting there like,
Every song.
is it ever gonna end, dude? Like, what the fuck, bro?
Well, it is hard to play that slow time, though. It's not fun to listen to.
Yeah,
but
that's what
it takes talent to be able to just keep fucking time and keep count.
Yeah.
Like these epically long.
That's what I've always said to him. Like,
passages.
I respect that they can play that slow because that's hard as fuck. But that is so not fun to listen to at all, dude.
Yeah.
It's just like, I would sit there and I would try when we first started playing. I would sit there and listen to like a song or two, but then I'd be like, no, I'm gonna go get a beer. I'm gonna get some fries. Can we play like Roy or some shit?
Sorry, dude.
Let's go smoke real quick, dude. Like, fuck.
Super cool guys, but yeah,
I don't know if I ever met them. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm just saying I don't like that slow ass music because it's just.
What kind of music you listening to right now, or as far as metal goes, what kind of?
As far as metal,
What's your top band?
oh man,
Some of your top bands.
man. If you didn't ask me that just now, I'd be able to tell you like.
Put them on the spot.
Well,
Gotcha.
shit. I've been listening to like older stuff, like Emperor, some Mayhem. Mayhem's Chimera album.
Black metal.
Like a lot of cold black metal people are like, "Fuck that album." Like that sucks, but I like it. I don't give a shit. I like that album.
Do you not listen to more mainstream metal, or you just do like the more obscure or like the more subgenre versions?
It's more subgenre kind of stuff. I always put on Spawn of Possession every once in a while.
Spawn of Possession is that Cannibal Corpse? No,
it's a band.
Oh, it's a band.
Oh, okay. I was thinking that was an album name that you were saying.
Pretty heavy.
That would be a good album name though too.
It sounded like a Cannibal Corpse
It's
album.
like real tech deathy.
Okay.
Yeah. They're a pretty good band.
Veil of Nath, I like them. Archaic. I've been listening to a lot of.
I've heard Archaic. I don't
that.
know all these obscure death metal bands anymore because I kind of stopped listening to death. Or like,
Then I'm late to the game. With,
Are you?
Pierce the Veil, I was like, I put on that shit. I'm like, that's catchy. What is
isn't
this?
Pierce the Veil kind of more like
They're emo as fuck.
I was like they're like an emo metal band.
Yeah,
right?
but that's what I've been like. I can only listen to so much metal these days. Like
Oh, I feel
working
you.
customer service, I'm like, okay, that's cool, but I need to just like unwind and just chill. Jazz, fucking
Yeah.
I was just saying,
fucking Japanese jazz from
Japanese
like the 70s
jazz?
and 80s. I don't know how I fell into that,
Crazy. It sounds awesome. Jazz is great, dude.
but it is.
Japanese jazz. Huh?
Japanese people are also very hard workers, so I'm sure they're very great at music. So I'm sure like
I was trying to branch out with my guitar playing because I play the same just tech death riffs, and I was in a box, and I was trying to find something else, some new music to listen to, and I don't know how I came across it, but what's his name? Jun Fukamachi. I don't know if I'm saying it right. This shit is legit.
Nice.
yeah.
That and Cassiopeia.
Do you like Cassiopeia? That's so funny. But do you like regular jazz or just like
No.
Japanese jazz?
Well, I always hated jazz. I'm like, it sounds all. I don't know. I just have this impression of it being all stuffy and shit. Like you just say jazz, and you see like
snobby,
like a fucking bar, like some uppity piano bar. Like I don't know. I just have this prejudice, this unfounded prejudice against jazz. I always have.
Because of the type of people that might be associated with it.
Probably.
It's like
I don't know. I don't even
snobby.
know.
I personally just don't like the music that much. I mean, I can listen to it sometimes. Like it has its setting. Like if you're at like a fancy restaurant, and there's some like relaxing jazz in the background. Like that's kind of cool. But like for me to put on jazz and listen to it.
Yeah.
I'm like, play the right notes. I'm like one of those guys, you know, because they're always changing keys and shit. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
That's how I saw it. Like I saw it as like that relaxing, like elevator music. I'm like, how could people just get into this? Like, what is this? But like, there's other branches out of that out of that's where it's like, what the fuck are they doing musically right there? It's like they straight up some of them shred like put on some Alan
really
Holdsworth.
creative.
It's like okay, I don't know about this. Then he starts shredding. It's like oh,
Did you
what
listen
the fuck is that? You know?
Did you listen? Was it 103.7 when they had? Was it that station that did the smooth jazz for a little bit?
102.9.
102.9. Did you listen to the smooth jazz station when it was around?
No.
It was only for a couple of years. Okay, they had a smooth jazz.
Maybe it's smooth jazz. Maybe that's what I hate.
That was the station.
No, smooth jazz is like better because it's more like that like groovy kind of jazz.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you're like it's kind of like lovemaking jazz, kind of.
Yeah.
A little bit. It's kind of like the R&B of jazz. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's got good beats to it.
Yeah, it's real nice. But yeah, they had that station for a while, and I was surprised they got taken off the air because honestly,
It's
that
a
was,
Mexican channel now.
yeah, I
Some
know.
good music though. I grew up in Texas, and like those Tejano stations, I just put them on.
I just hate that. I just hate
And
that.
they're just
beat.
like okay, it's like dun dun dun, but like
I just hate the 2/2 beat, the double beat they play, the boom 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 boom.
Oh, yeah.
Just like stop doing that beat. It's been played a million times. Please stop.
you get past
Like a
that,
circus beat or
if
something.
you could get past that and like wait till it branches into something else. If it's a good,
I like the
band, like there's some good guitar.
I like the kind of like
chordy-
serenading kind of songs where the guys are singing and you don't understand what the fuck they're saying, but you're like that. Beautiful singing.
Oh, yeah.
And Spanish guitar players are some of the best guitar players there
yeah,
are.
heck yeah.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
That harmonic minor scale and Phrygian.
Oh, I
and all
love
that shit.
I love those are like my two favorite scales to play on guitar as
Yeah.
well. So Phrygian and harmonic minor for sure.
Same. Like half the songs I write for myself. I'm working on like a solo project
Oh yeah,
right now.
Acoustic?
No, it's a
metal.
one man band kind of thing.
Okay.
Like I was like kind
I
of
know
looking
those
down on
projects.
it. Like if it's all recorded, I like it. If it's one dude playing in front of everybody with all the backing band,
What if it's like Devin Townsend? Do you like Devin Townsend?
I like what I've heard of him.
Okay, he does like. Well, I guess he doesn't normally do the one man band thing, but I don't know if you've seen his like EMG videos where he has the backing track and he's playing.
Oh,
But he like plays and sings, and like this dude, he's like comedic, but he can like just like sing perfectly,
oh yeah,
play
His
perfectly,
voice is amazing.
and then like on top of that, he makes jokes in between like beats and stuff. You know what I mean? In between lines and stuff. It's like I don't know.
Well, comic relief.
He's hilarious. I'll show you his shit if you haven't seen it. It's fucking great. I forgot why I even brought that up. My bad.
Got there from jazz somehow.
We got there from jazz. I got the Devin Townsend from jazz. What happened?
But
That's
I guess I could thank Adam Neely and Rick Beato, like their channels, for getting me
they
it's
kind of
like opening my mind a little bit.
they made me appreciate jazz, especially those two channels. But they haven't made me like jazz. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Like I can
it's
appreciate
I heard
it.
the
now.
right thing, you know.
Yeah.
And I was
Rick
on-
Beato always he's like this great guitar playing, and then he plays jazz stuff, and I'm like, that's technically cool, but it doesn't sound pleasing to my ears at the same time. You know
I
what I
want
mean?
it to make me feel a certain way. If it
Yeah.
doesn't make you feel a certain way, you know.
That's also I don't know. You're talking about like not you can only listen to so much metal, and I don't really listen to that much metal anymore for that exact reason. Because metal, for me, most of the time, unless a band is like kind of on a different level, is very kind of one dimensional, and you always kind of have. It's always a certain emotion. It's always usually aggression. You know what I mean? Aggression, speed, kind of usually not even angsty. You know, that's more the emo stuff. You know what I mean? So it's
a
just
lot of it sounds like they're just doing it because that's what they do, you know.
yeah, and yeah, especially it's more like musicians' music than anything.
Yeah.
So we've
Oh,
always
yeah.
talked about when you go see a metal band, most of the people in the crowd are musicians. You know what I mean? Like they want to see that technical spectacle that you have going on there.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
it's them and their girlfriends, you know. And then
the real good ones, they'll sit in the back and do this.
that's me at metal shows. I'm like everyone's moshing. I'm like unless I have like 6 beers, I'm not moshing. So the rest of the time I'm just sitting in the back like looking at the guitar player. I'm like, what are you doing? Huh? I'm like maybe nod my head a little bit, but I'm like. I've seen you mess up that note. I've seen it because you played different last time. Okay, I've seen that.
It's a little harder to get a headbang out of you.
Yeah.
Oh man, we played with Periphery for one of our bigger shows.
Really?
That was
Was that cool?
it was cool. Like it was a bunch of gent kids, and it was us opening, and they were just all like,
How do you feel about Jen?
"Oh, okay." But then some of them got around and pitted and shit. But like it took a minute.
Nice.
But I resisted it for a long time until like this past year.
I feel like it's such a metal elitist thing. I don't know. I used to be a metal elitist, so I'm not talking shit. If you are one or like anyone that is, because I feel like it's you kind of grow from that usually.
Oh yeah.
Unless you're like one of those fucking 60-year-old people who are like Slayer, only Slayer.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's no hope for
Yeah.
those people. But like,
no.
I feel like most people are like, especially like me when I is like my early 20s and late teens and stuff, I was like, if it's not metal, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And I lost my train of thought. We're just talking about metal elitists. Oh, we're talking about Gent, right?
Yes.
Right. We were talking about Gent. I just feel like it's the same thing with Gent. You know, all the elitists are like, it's not real music, blah 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 blah, and this bullshit and whatever. And no one ever gives shit a chance. I don't know. Have you listened to Animals as Leaders?
Oh yeah.
That's like, I don't really listen to that much Gent, but that band in particular
I'm
is
gonna count
amazing.
them. Well,
They have
genty.
They have Gents
as
aspects.
fuck.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but
they're
like,
they're not pure Gents, obviously.
I see them where it's just instrumental metal kind of shit. Like Steve Vai, I fucking love Steve Vai and Joe Satriani. All the shred gods like got me out of the just like metal box, because I probably would have just been playing chords and simplistic riffs if I never. Was that me going off? Oh well. Anyways,
Yeah.
Gent. I don't remember how I came across like actually giving it a chance. It was probably in YouTube recommendations. I'm like, fuck it, let's see this.
Fuck.
But Tesseract is really the first one that I gave a major chance to, and like it was their live. Oh my god, I can't remember the name of it. There's like they play like 3 songs live in the studio.
Oh, okay. I love those recordings like more than
vocals.
Yeah, I like those too if it's filmed right.
those are my favorite. I like those more than watching the actual live performances, and I like them more than usually than the studio if they're done correctly.
Yeah.
So you get that kind of intimate live kind of sound that if it's recorded properly, you're like, that's better than the album, you know, and it's just great sound quality. So
Yeah, I was prejudiced against that because I just felt like it was, oh, you could play in 7s and 5s and you could count. Right on, bro. Cool. Like, I'm like, that was my impression. But then I hear it executed and like with the vocals and like with letting myself get into the vibe of it, even if it's not the most complicated music, you know.
Yeah. I don't
Going
really,
from tech death, it's like, oh, that's so fucking slow. Like my sister can play that. She doesn't even play guitar. Like,
I feel like that's such.
that is elitist. I'm elitist.
Exactly.
There it is, right there.
Yeah, and I used to think the same way, and I think that if you go too far down that rabbit hole, you only start to focus on musicianship, like technical musicianship.
Oh yeah.
And you lose all sense of like feeling and telling a story with your music, and just being like, if you're not playing fast, you're not fucking playing technically, then it's bullshit. And anyone can play that. My grandma can play it with her fucking vagina. You know, you're like, people just say like the most random, like degrading shit to people that aren't playing technical, and it's just like, but like, well, what story are you telling with your technical metal? You're like, are you like, it's cool, it's great that you can play that fast, but like, if you're not doing something with it, it's not really art. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you can do like really technical art. Like you can sit there and draw with like fucking rulers and shit, and you can come up with some cool stuff, but like, you might not be telling a story very much. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You know, you like, you do like architectural type art and shit, and you're like, yeah, that's really cool. I like what you did there, though, but it kind of loses its, I hate saying this word, organicness. You know what I mean? It's a sense of feeling and
creativity.
soul. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I feel that
kind of same thing.
Like I was all about tech death, and like it gets old. Like it's just messes of notes and different modes and whatever. Like you could pick stuff out.
Yeah.
But like if I had to be on a desert island, just marooned and just had music, I had to choose between having like 3 or just having a never-ending technical death metal album, or like
that sounds fucking awful, honestly.
that's all I had to listen to, or if I could listen to some post black metal shit, like some atmospheric post black metal that like makes me feel things besides like might give me a little bit of aggression, but like honestly tech death is like, that was cool, oh that one part sounded cool, then it's like, okay, let's wait till the next cool part. But like these like atmospheric bands, like the good ones, like Skyforest, and there's one called Strunklin, I think that's what they were called.
Okay.
And like it's a journey.
Yeah.
I like
like
those where it's like not necessarily a concept album, but it's kind of the same thing where it is a journey you go through.
It makes you feel stuff, and like it literally moves you. Like you could feel it right here if you were like really listening to it. Like I haven't ever felt like emotional from aggressive metal. I've only felt human listening to stuff that wasn't just aggressive for aggressive sake, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I have a challenge for all of us.
Yeah.
All right. So you were off the desert island thing, so you already know. You pick 3 albums on a desert island.
Okay, that's a good one.
I didn't want to say 1 because that's way too fucking hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you want to have a little bit of
too hard.
variation in there. And I was almost like 2, but I was like 2 still isn't enough. But I feel like 3 is enough.
That's tough. Albums, man. That's a tough one, dude.
I feel like it's an easier one. You have so many albums. Like, you bought so many albums and listened to full albums. So
Yeah, I know. I'm like, which one though?
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe it's even hard for you because you've listened to so many. I'll give let's see, I'll pick Hypnotized by System of a Down. And then I have to have Ashes of the Wake, I think.
That's what I was thinking of in my head.
Ashes of the Wake, because I have to have something metal. So like I'll pick Ashes of the Wake by Lamb of God. And then this is my guilty pleasure, but I'll pick American Idiot by Green Day. But that's what I grew up when I was a teenager listening to, and so
right.
it's my nostalgia guilty pleasure, you know. So
Oh man, I would definitely have Queen's A Night at the Opera.
ooh, that's a good one. Fuck, man, I wish I'd put Queen in mine.
But that one would be first choice, just because it's so different and varied and it's like dynamic.
Wait, what are the hits on that one?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, is that okay? That is the one. I thought
That
so.
one has Bohemian Rhapsody, but I like all the other tracks, but I can't pull them out.
Is Somebody Love off that one, or is that a different album? Somebody Love's a little bit later, isn't it?
I can't. I have them all mixed up. I just know that's my favorite one.
Oh, okay.
Because they have so many songs. They have so many albums.
I really
It's
love
like-
Innuendo. It's probably my favorite, but I feel like because I can feel the kind of him. It's like his last album before he died. I can feel all the emotion and energy he put into that. You know what I mean? So I really like that one. But yeah, okay. So that one, and then
Queen.
That's a great choice, man. Fuck. I'm second guessing my choices.
There's too many options. That's actually a tough question.
I
I'm still
know.
over here thinking in my head. Like,
It's still entertaining, even if you change your answers later. It's just like,
I would have some sort of atmospheric black metal on there that, or post-black, something that's not all dark, you know. Like I couldn't tell you what that one would be. As far as I'd have to have a heavy album. It's got to be Spawn of Possession. They're my favorite tech death band.
it's way harder for you guys than it was for me. That's funny.
Did you already tell him your 3?
He said 1. And
Spawn of Possession's their last album they put out. I can't think of the name off the top of my head.
that's one of them.
Yeah, that one, Queen, and man,
You're not gonna put the nostalgic from your kid growing up kind of thing that you need, or is that the Queen?
that'd be the Queen.
Okay.
That'd be the Queen. I'd probably have like Emperor or Mayhem, but I couldn't tell you what album for
So, all right.
the dark. Oh no, I would want 4.
I'd want 4.
Alcest. I'll just do Alcest. One of their middle albums.
Okay.
Nice.
What do you think, Ben?
I think for the metal and the tech and or the slam or whatever, probably go with like Through the Eyes of the Dead, Malice.
Oh man, that's old school. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
oh my
dude.
god.
It's like a good slam.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just I need something heavy, and then to lighten it up, like go more rock. I would say Alice in Chains, Dirt.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a solid one.
Yeah, and then I get some EDM up in there and go with like Future Primitive. I can't remember that.
EDM, man. You know what? If I put an EDM in mine, I'd probably put Black Mill. Have you listened to Black Mill?
Oh yeah.
Black Mill's amazing.
That's EDM.
Well,
I thought I hate it.
I call it kind of like chill step.
Chill Step. I love Chill Step.
I love Chill Step as
Alan
well.
Watts Chill Step more than anything.
Okay.
Ever.
Do they have Alan Watts chill step?
Oh my god! I found it when I was on a mushroom trip, and it was like the best thing
That sounds crazy.
ever.
But I really love Black Mill's my favorite like chill step artist. It's just
I know that name because it was on Alan Watts Chill
okay,
Step.
so atmospheric and it just kind of
That
takes
is
you to another
great
place.
music for being trapped on an island, right?
Yeah, exactly. You have a good point.
Just meditate. Just
Exactly.
meditate it away.
You become
Activate that
one with that
DMT in
island.
your fucking shit and just.
Exactly.
Dude, I swear to God, Black Mill's like one of those bands where if I haven't listened to them in a while and their music comes on, they will make me feel emotions I don't even want to feel. I'll be like feeling like I'm like, why am I gonna cry right now? Like what's happening? You know? Like it's so intense. Like there was this girl I was seeing and we were listening. She had never listened to Black Mill and we were like doing it. But I put on Black Mill. I was like, hey, let's get some atmospheric stuff on. She's like, this music is like designed for your brain to like latch on to. It's like she's like, this is like a dopamine center for your brain. Like this is like scientifically designed for your fucking brain. I'm like, I know it's amazing, right? So I don't know.
That's crazy. Well, we can definitely. I'm serious about the tripping episode. Like, we get some DMT. That'd be really crazy.
Maybe DMT. Maybe we'll do it for episode 104.
It scares the shit out of me, but I'll do it anyway.
Yeah. Episode 104 will be our 1 year episode, so
that'll be good. I don't know what's going on. Sounds like there's a monster trying to get in here.
Malia, are you okay?
Right? I thought it was the wind, but then I don't know. I was like, is she out there slamming the door?
She's like, yo, pay attention to me. And we're like, nah.
It's kind of odd that it's not happening, but it was like vigorously happening for a few minutes there. But
Yeah.
But yeah, what time did we start? What time are we wrapping this up?
Around
7:20.
Was it 7:20? Is it 7:15, 7:20, something like that?
All right, so we got a few minutes.
I think it was like 7:17, honestly, because I put 7:20, but then you came in earlier than I thought you were going to. So
With the lives.
So we got like 5-ish minutes.
Do you what kind of gear you got for your guitar and stuff?
How about Ibanez? Not Iceman. I don't even. It's like some weird hybrid, honestly. Someone said it was a destroyer, but it's not quite a destroyer. It might not even be a real Ibanez, but it says Ibanez on it, and I love it. It's
Nice.
like red and sparkly.
Are you an Ibanez boy?
I am.
Me too, man.
I just happened to become one out of nowhere one day.
They're just so
They feel
like
good.
for
They
metal.
sound good.
They're the best. I will say though, if you're trying to play rock, though, they're a little bit rough. Only for the reason I have small hands. I don't know. Seeing these little boys, I was gonna say bad boys, these little boys, but they're fucking tiny, and so trying to wrap your hand and try to play like Jimi Hendrix type of stuff with my small ass hands
I got
around an
I got the
Ibanez.
Trump hands also, like the baby hand.
Yeah, so like trying to wrap my hand around an Ibanez neck is not happening, dude. Like, so that's my only complaints about Ibanez, but that's not really Ibanez's fault. That's my tiny ass hand's fault. So
I finally got one of those fucking legendary 5150
Yeah.
EVs. Yeah, for an amp.
Oh man, those sound so good.
Hey, I was just gonna say, have you heard those before?
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like
what kind of amp do you got?
I don't have one right now. I have a computer.
Okay.
I did have a PV
How do you deal with
XXL, and I used that when I was playing. It was like, it's solid state and like not. I don't know. I like it. I got a lot of flack for having it, but I could get some good sounds out of it.
Yeah, I got an Orange Crush, which is a solid state orange amp,
Yeah.
but it's modeled after tube amps, and it's really similar, and people can get really similar sounds. But I got it for rock, and it's kind of hard to play metal on because Orange is known for their kind of fuzzy distortion kind of sounds.
The
So
tone is great for
yeah,
metal.
it's really good for everything besides like death metal. I mean, you could even do like hard rock, a little bit of heavy metal. Like if you're doing like System of a Down or some shit like that style of metal. I mean, you could still play that on an orange amp, but I mean, even Mastodon plays on orange amps. But yeah, if you're trying to get like technical, kind of playing actual death metal, it's not really for that. But yeah, I'm sure you got the 5150. That's fucking cool, man.
Yeah, it sounds really nice, man. It's like really taking my tone and sound to the next level.
I can imagine. It's
really nice.
I'm glad that he did it because it was like when I first moved in here, it was like 6 months ago now. That's fucking weird. Time's flying. When I first moved in here, he was having problems with his tone and shit. So I helped him with his tone, and I was like, he was really into his pedal, man. He's like, dude, this pedal, it's pretty good. I'm like, I think you should just get an amp, dude. I think you should get a better amp. You should just get like I wasn't telling him to get a tube amp, but I was like, you should get a more solid amp than the one you have, and then use the distortion from your, like, find an amp with good distortion instead of using your pedal for it. Yeah. And then he's like, I don't know, I paid money for this pedal, and I like the pedal, and it used to work really well. And then he eventually, now you actually got the amp, and I'm glad you did it because that's the correct.
Yeah, once I tried the 5150, I was like, Sean turned me on to it, and he was like, dude, just try it, man. And I was like, oh, yeah, for sure.
That's all it takes.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Just hear it, like,
I just heard it.
That.
Like, whoa, dude.
Yeah, like that's the metal.
Crisp, sharp, like
do you get the
tacky
do you get
sound?
The thing? Say it's more responsive to your stuff, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people say, I haven't even played through a tube amp, but I just know what people say about them.
That's funny.
I mean, I guess I have played through tube
really
amps. I played through Vox amps that are like half tube, half solid state, but a lot of people say that you can like feel the air kind of push a little bit more from them and stuff. I don't know if that's actually true, but they're saying it is very reactive. Like, you can feel the responsiveness to your.
It picks up the sound much better.
Yeah,
it pushes it out. It just the distortion is much cleaner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the kind of analog versus digital kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
it's very hard to simulate an analog sound or analog anything. It's hard to get the authentic thing from technology.
Yeah.
Close.
You can get really
What's
close.
happening now is
So you
bands
use
are playing
amp
just
simulators,
with.
right? Yeah.
Well, I just play with my computer. I don't play shows or anything. But
I was
if I
saying,
play
you play
shows,
amp
I'd have a
simulators
cab.
on your.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I used to do that too.
Neural, not the Tosin Abasi one.
Have you got
The Periphery dude.
I forget his name too. Fuck.
I can't even think of it.
He's like the brown skinned dude that play.
No, not Misha.
Oh, it's not Misha. Okay, the other guy.
Shit. I can't think of his name right now. I can't think of the name of the damn thing.
Have you been able to get rid of the latency though? Because that was always my issue with playing with amp simulators. Is I could never get my signal to have low enough latency where it wasn't lagging. You know what I mean? Like where when you start playing fast, it almost sounds like you have a delay going because it takes a little bit of time for the signal to go through your computer and be processed and all that shit. And so you have like this you'd be like da-da-da-da-da, and like a couple milliseconds afterwards you'd be like do the same exact thing. But it fucks with your sense of playing because you're not expecting a delay. And so then you start slowing down or speeding up to kind of try to catch up with it. And then that makes it worse because you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to kind of keep playing.
Yeah. Well, the neural one, the one I have, it's like I don't even notice it.
Oh, you don't? Even when you play fast?
Really good. Yeah.
I must have just not had good enough hardware. You know what I mean? The interface and shit. So
could be some little setting in there too.
Or it could have been the driver. There's so many different aspects of it. You have the hardware and then the driver and then the software you're using on top of that. It's like there's so many points of error where it can get fucked up. Well, that's why I like analog a lot better, is because you just plug in, you plug into a 5150, you're like, here's my sound, let's go.
Yeah.
Well, now it's like a lot of bands aren't even taking cabs with them. The last show I went to was Insaphirum and Abigail Williams and some other bands. There were no cabs. I didn't even notice at first. A couple bands played. And then someone was like, you see what's different? You see there's no cabs up there? There was setup where it kind of looked, it was backdrops and shit. So it's you don't really think about
bands
it.
Bands have those empty cabs up there now, but not actually be using any amps. They'll be using simulation software.
It's just straight up either computers or I don't know if it's a neural one or a Axe Effects shit. Well, people use that too. It's a lot of it's just all direct in shit.
They plug directly into the PA and shit.
But you lose so much of the experience doing that. I'm like, why does this not sound good? All you hear is the monitors when you're at the front of the stage and not guitar coming out of cabs.
So you're not feeling it, you're just hearing it.
You're feeling, you can feel it in the back from the overhead speakers and the side speakers and these big venues.
It just doesn't have that authenticity to it.
Yeah, I'd much rather hear a 5150 than the most top of the line.
Yeah,
digital effects that would even sound the same because there's I just spit everywhere. It pushes the air. It pushes the spit right out of your mouth.
No, there's the presence is there for the band on stage. And it creates that energy. Mm-hmm. So I think you're right. It takes away that energy and that whole experience when it becomes more, like you said, digitized rather than analog.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's probably a good place to stop because we're actually out of time.
Nice.
So
good deal. Well, it's been good.
It's been a very cool episode.
It's been good chatting, dude. We're getting into some crazy heavy topics in there. You were a hard guy to get a hold of on Facebook because I was like, wait a sec. I couldn't remember your last name. I was like, what the hell is his last name?
This is the episode I actually wished was 3 hours. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things we go into.
So you deleted your Facebook. That's a power move, man.
I deactivated it. There's pictures and connections that I don't want to lose, but I go through these. Once you see how much time, at least for me and a lot of people that I know, how much time you spend on the shit, 2 hours a day. Dude, that's what is that? 14 hours in a week. And then you add that up over a month. It's I could be doing something else with my time. I'm not even doing anything. I'm scrolling, hoping to find something that I don't even know what I'm looking to find.
Yeah, you're consuming.
It's like a fucking rat consuming. Try to give me my food. Hit the bar. Hit the bar. Give me my fix.
600 or 700 hours a year.
It's a dangerous road to go down, and it's easy to get sucked into that fucking vortex of wasting time for sure.
So that is why I'm hard to find on there because I am not on there anymore. Instagram is bad enough for me. That's enough.
You got the right idea, man. So
you did it for personal reasons. A lot of people do it for they got to make a statement or something I'm deleting my Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I just self-control.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Well, I'm glad you're doing good, and like I said, we'll touch base with you again and get some updates on No Living Witness and all that good stuff, and
All right.
talk music again.
Yeah. Make sure to check out No Living Witness. It's Josh Young. He's our guest. He was really cool. And then you can find this podcast and all our other podcasts on Spotify and Apple. You can see our live streams on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Shit. The 3 beers are getting to me. And then you can get our updates on Instagram and Twitter. So
There you go. There you have it, folks. Yeah, so until next time, I guess Saturday, we'll see you next Saturday and have another conversation. So until then, keep it viral.
keep it contagious. Later.
Peace.